I was born in 46, 5 rings on my fingertips. From Ronnie Lott to Jimmy Ward, every hit stings a bit. You know we bring the grit. From Tittle to Brody, homie. Ask Joe and Steve, the top is lonely. Tossing dimes, extra precise. See Jerry Rice, gotta keep it nice. I do it for the Crimson Oval. Super Bowl or bust, always hopeful. Frankie G in a cloud of dust. 16 years ain't showing rust. Nah, we ain't slowing up. You don't know us. Yeah. We brought home 5, now it's time for 6. I was born in 46. Yeah. I was born in 46. Yeah. I was born in 46.
Awesome team win, man. Everyone across the board. D all day. Oh, the way you guys came out at the beginning, finishing at the end.
Niners on 3, 1, 2, 3, Niners!
Welcome to the Born in 46 podcast. We are back for episode 3. Me, Drew Kaufman, Ryan Waring, and Mr. Keegan Bradley. Back at ya.
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for tuning in again. I know it's been a little while.
It's been a long while.
Been a long while. We're coming back with some new stuff. Before we jump into Niners, I want to talk about the NFL's new number rule that just passed. Me and Keegan were talking about it. So tight ends and running backs can now wear numbers 1 through 49 and 80 through 89. And then defensive backs can wear 1 through 49.
What about wide receivers?
Wide receivers can wear 1 through 40,
running
49.
backs and tight ends.
Yeah, and wide receivers 1 through 49, 80 through 89.
You think Debo will go back to his South Carolina number 1?
Debo's definitely going back to 1. He already said that he is. He posted an Instagram photo with all his college 1, like literally 20 minutes after his official.
Yeah, I think he's excited about it.
He's real excited. And then he was like trying to get Ayuk to get 2 because he wore a 2 at ASU.
Oh, man.
And Ayuk's like, nope, those single numbers are for you college boys.
He did say that.
Yeah, he's not changing. And I like it. I like 11 on him. Clean.
I do too.
So we're going to have a 1 and 11 as our main receivers. It's a lot of 1s. Hope the quarterbacks don't get confused.
So speaking of that, Tom Brady just came out this afternoon, tagged the NFL and tagged the Players Association in a tweet, and he's pissed. He is so pissed at this rule. He's like, how are we going to know who to block? Who has what assignment? This is out of control. Because now you're going to be like seeing number 2, a linebacker, and it might trip up the fullback or running back trying to catch a guy on a block. And I mean, it's crazy.
And I think more so for those veteran quarterbacks that have made it so automatic, right? When they're calling out their assignments, like boom, number 54, number 48, yeah, exactly. Number 52, not number 2, number 7. But the newer quarterbacks, I don't think that would be much an issue.
And our single jersey number fans, it's going to work out nice.
We're finally here. The day is finally here.
Yeah. So I'll wait for the numbers to get released. And a couple new 9 jerseys this year for sure.
So it won't be this year because of the stock of jerseys. The NFL said
they said they have to buy it out.
They'd have to buy it out.
Yeah.
Which no one's going to want to do that until like the end of the season. No one wants to buy a fresh stock of thousands of jerseys before the season.
You think?
No, why would you want to do that? That's a lot of money, you know? It's
I bet you they don't pay full price.
Wholesale price, but regardless, that adds up, you know what I mean? Especially if you're a big name player.
Yeah, but they just resell so many more of their new number jerseys because people have to go get those.
Yeah, but like what percentage of that do you have? I mean, it's just a whole business thing. So like,
well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's Nike.
I'm talking about millionaires though. So.
It's Debo would have to, if he wants to go to number 1 and he's 19 now, he'd have to pay Nike for whatever they have now. And then Nike is not going to give him those jerseys. They're going to send it overseas. You're going to see a bunch of like kids in Kenya with the number 19 Debos.
Hey, that's cool. I have a 19 Debo. Ain't nothing wrong. Me and
Rip that 9 off.
Have those OG jerseys. No big deal.
Yeah, it would be funny though if they actually like sent it to Debo's house. All the jerseys, like, hey, you bought them, man. You got to distribute them now. That's on you.
What's up, fam?
All these boxes.
You hear the beep, beep, beep. And I was like, what the fuck?
What is that? 19s.
I don't want
So,
those 19s.
It's real quick to segue with that. Years ago, like 10 years ago, I was doing like landscaping down in the Castle Rock, Highlands Ranch. I did Eddie Royal's house. Remember him?
Sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Wide receiver.
The Broncos.
So I would always go to his house and be in his front and backyard. And this is like Lone Tree. And he'd have pallets of fucking Gatorade, just pallet upon pallet in the driveway. So I'm sure they wake up to just the boop, boop, boop.
Oh,
Gatorade. Yeah.
New shipment.
Gatorade. Hopefully it gives some out.
That's cool.
So yeah.
So for those that haven't, that are anticipating the next update or anticipating the draft, maybe you can kind of give an outline to kind of what we're going to be discussing today.
Yeah,
Keegan, I'll let you do that.
KB.
Oh, pressure's on, my host. All right. So I mean, we've been talking about the pod for a couple of weeks. Just things pop up, and the draft's 1 week away, which is finally here.
Well, we were dealing with a lot of rumors in between then, so
ton of rumors.
we could have done a podcast every week, but it could have changed drastically from week to week.
Exactly. And it's the off season. Let me pull up the notes real quick. The first topic we're going to go over today is, the big news that we haven't talked about is trading up for the third pick.
Yeah.
That was absolutely insane, out of the blue, right?
On our last podcast, we were talking about Matt Stafford. Remember, we were pumped about Matt Stafford.
And now look at us. That's an afterthought. It doesn't even come across my mind ever.
I think after that blow, we were like, let's give it some time.
Yeah.
We did a whole segment on Matt Stafford.
Stafford's coming. And then he's going to the Rams, and it sucks because he's a good quarterback. He's definitely better than Jared Goff. So the Niners knew that they had to do something. I think that they felt the pressure with those moves. They know that Wilson's still in Seattle. And the Rams just got better, and Kyler Murray's up and coming. We're not for sure what he's going to be, but he can play.
Yeah.
He gave us a hard time last year.
And they added J.J. Watt and a bunch of other pieces in the offseason.
Yep. And I think we're just sitting here looking at, we have Jimmy G, and we just too many question marks with his health. So
because the rest of our roster is stacked. So it's like, how can we make this another appearance to the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we didn't even see this coming, right? We didn't talk about moving up to 3. Still out of the blue.
If anything, they were like, maybe we'll trade down.
Yeah, it just crept up on us. One day we just saw it. I think somebody just posted it in the fantasy football group chat, and I was like, fuck, really?
That's where it was, yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
John Lynch, man. There's a lot to unravel with that. We'll get to it later, like what this means for John Lynch, but I definitely think it buys him some time. I think he knows, like, yeah, if I do this, now we can kind of see what happens as the years go on. But they had somebody in mind. You don't do that if you don't have somebody in mind. It's not, it's Fields. Oh, we're gonna do this for Fields or Trey Lance. It's like, no, there's a guy right there.
Yep.
That they know.
Or 2 guys, right? Like we're gonna all talk about 3 guys. But I think if you're going to make that move, you're okay with 2 guys, right? Because you just never know. There's a little uncertainty at 2. You might have inside access. But I think that there's still a little bit to be said about the pro day, and they're still evaluating maybe 2. That's my guess. Like, they have their guy that they like right now, but they're like, you know what? This guy, if he shows in his interviews and his pro days, I think there may be 2. That's my take. And we'll get into it more, but you 100% right. You don't trade up unless you're absolutely confident that the players that you have available at 3, you're going to be absolutely confident going and making the biggest franchise decision of your GM career, being John Lynch.
Yeah. During his press conference, he said he liked 3 guys, but I think those 3 guys could be Lawrence, Wilson, and the third mystery guy.
Yeah, true.
Like, he's fine if one of those guys drop, but he knows that what the Jets are going to do. Everybody in the world knows what Jacksonville's going to do. Yeah. You can't even make bets on the first pick anymore.
The Jets were somewhat uncertain. If we would have done this podcast 2 weeks ago, I would have been like, you know what? It's typical Jets. Maybe they go out of fashion. But now I feel like right after I was thinking that that they came out with an article saying that they're bought into Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And again, it could be a smoke screen, but at number 2, you're really not worrying about anyone knowing your game plan. You know what I mean?
Just because the first pick is guaranteed to.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't want to give ours up because the Jets still
There's so
are
much
technically up in the air, but number 1's.
So what do we got? So there's the 3 main guys that everybody keeps talking about: Justin Fields, Trevor, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones.
The people that will be available at 3.
Yeah, the supposedly top guys. I mean, top quarterbacks.
You're gonna put Mac Jones in there though. You could put Lance, Wilson, and Fields.
No 49ers fan is even thinking about Zach Wilson because
taking Wilson out.
It's an assumption that we will take him if he's available. And I'm not saying that's it, but if you look at any 49ers podcast, if you talk to any 49ers fans, it's the assumption. The only 3 that we're talking about is Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. And that's what we're going to base our podcast.
Just because, we're saying what the 1 and 2 picks are. And I think
Mac Jones would be a huge disappointment. But I think one thing we're not bringing up is Eli Manning-esque, fuck you, Jets. Zach Wilson draft day could just be like, I'm not going to play for you. And then he forces the hand of the Jets to trade him to the Niners. This is very, very possible.
If we were talking about a Trevor Lawrence, maybe. But Zach Wilson has given us no reason to think that he would deny a team or request.
Why? I mean, he's a West Coast guy.
Because this little thing right here, and maybe his agent said something otherwise, but that if his agent and him decided like, hey, this isn't my team, they would make it clear right then and there. Like, why wouldn't you, right? Like, no team's going to scramble last minute.
And you're not going to some little town. You're going to New York. I mean,
going to New York. You have a new coach.
The city plays a factor for sure.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I just think
I feel like there would be some tiny leak saying Zach Wilson not feeling New York, because I feel like that was the case with Eli Manning, or maybe it wasn't, just because social media wasn't there. Wasn't like that back then, but you've got to believe that he's had, a good amount of interviews and he's had his opportunity to voice opinion on the Jets.
Yeah.
It just has not been a thing.
So let's just run off those 3 guys, Andrew. I hope you weren't thinking we're going to get Wilson, because
no, I'm not. I'm definitely not.
3 of us are on the same page.
There's a 99.99% chance he goes to the Jets. I'm just saying. We've seen crazy shit happen. The Minnesota Vikings did not remember that year? They missed their pick. Like, the pick came and they didn't pick, and they went to the next team. Like, you don't know. Crazy shit happens on draft day, dude.
Top 5 pick.
You're not missing your second overall pick.
That's not.
No, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but
I think it could be more of a chance that we find a trade to get up to 2.
Sure. Yeah.
Wilson trying to
like Robert Salt. He's like, Kyle Shannon's like, hey, Robert.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What do you think?
I think the most interesting, there's obviously one is our pick, but the second thing is, are we going to trade Jimmy draft night? Does somebody come up and get that first round and go get Jimmy?
Right.
And do we just all of a sudden, the Niners are picking 20 whatever? We already know.
We'd have to get a first rounder. We'd have to. Yeah.
So,
which I think is very highly unlikely. But again, draft night, you never know. So let's talk about the more likely scenarios, and that's that we keep Jimmy, because at this point, if we could have traded him, we probably would. And I don't think anyone draft day is going to be like, oh, I'll give you a first, just me personally. So yeah, let's dive in. I mean, Andrew, if you want to start off, of the 3 quarterbacks that we're looking at.
Yeah.
Who do you
I think Mac Jones.
Two questions. Who's your pick, and who do you think the Niners are going to pick? Right?
Exactly.
Well, I've never been a Justin Fields guy. For some reason, he doesn't pop off the screen. Most experts will tell you the Niners are going to go with Justin Fields.
I thought you were a Fields guy.
I never have. I mean, I thought for a second, I'm like, you know what? This might work for a second.
You talked about Mac Jones. We talked a lot about Wilson.
But I've never watched Justin Fields and been like, this guy is very impressive.
Have you put on any highlights in the YouTube of the guy?
Oh yeah. I've seen all of his
Nothing
stuff.
popped to you? That bomb they put on Clemson? That didn't pop?
This is the thing. Guys with knee injuries, they don't last. So I don't want to draft a guy who's got a lingering knee injury. And I think if you draft Trey Lance, you keep Jimmy for a year, and then you let Trey Lance kind of groom himself under Jimmy, and the numbers for him just pop off. He's still growing. Runs a 4.5. He's 6'5",
20 years
6'4",
old.
227, 20 years old. The guy threw for 2,800 yards, rushed for 1,100, had 28 touchdowns, 0 picks in his last full season. I don't care about Division II, the Bison. Carson Wentz could have worked out. So we're looking at a guy who could be Carson Wentz 2.0. I think he'll work in this offense better. And I just don't like the injury risk with Justin Fields. I think they'll probably take Justin Fields, but something tells me that they know something we don't. And maybe this is Trey Lance, who the Niners go with.
Yeah.
Do you think that Mac Jones is a smokescreen?
Yeah, I don't trust Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL. I can't. The last one was Joe Namath. I can't make that leap.
Yeah, and I think personally, right? Yeah, the last one was Joe Namath. You're absolutely correct. And I think we're kind of all on the same page with Mac Jones. But my thing is, so many experts are saying that it's Kyle Shanahan's guy. So what's your
Lombardi?
What's your take on Mac Jones, and what exactly do you think that the Niners would trade up for a Mac Jones? And what's your take on Mac Jones? So you've already said Trey Lance is your guy. You think it would be perfect grooming under Jimmy for maybe a year and be maybe boosted into that position if he were to get hurt, right? And Fields isn't. But what's your take on Mac Jones? What's your opinion on him?
So I look at quarterbacks with the guys around them. And if I insert Trey Lance into Alabama, he's probably 10 times as better. If I take Mac Jones out of Alabama, what do I get? When you have a Heisman Trophy winner, a dominant defense, the greatest coach of all time. That's how I look at it. So
yeah, but you're telling me if Trey Lance is on Alabama, you wouldn't take him because it's Alabama quarterback.
Well, the numbers might be so incredible
okay.
You can't pass.
Yeah,
but I just think I think Mac Jones is a game manager in a great situation. And I think Trey Lance is on a team that's Division II, and he's proven like he can do this shit without these big name guys. And he's a big boy. Like, I don't know. He seems like the right pick, and there's no injury questions like with Justin Fields. I don't want to take a guy with a bum knee who's right now 80%.
It's a sore subject, especially for us Niners fans. I mean, we don't even want to hear.
We don't want
the word
injury
injury.
hurt.
Yeah,
I agree.
Another thing to think about too is with Mac Jones. Yeah, he had some of the most talent, but he's also in the SEC, so he was dealing with the highest level of defenses in the collegiate
cream of the crop.
Well.
Yeah.
And it sounds like his intelligence is next level. Like
they're talking about like Matt Ryan-esque.
Yeah, like he can break down a play. He was teaching Sarkisian, who was coming to offensive coordinator, the plays when he got in.
Right.
So I think personally, I don't want Mac Jones, but I do think he's going to be a decent quarterback.
And you think that I
don't know if he's 3 worthy, but if we were picking him at 12, sure, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. But nothing close to your sights, Andrew, on Mac Jones.
You don't see him being a good starter?
I don't even see him going in the top like 7 or 8 picks.
I agree. He's a first rounder. I just think he's going to be decent, but for myself, it's just like, it's between Fields and Lance. It's those 2 guys, right? That's not. I don't see us going all the way up to 3 for a pocket passer. I just don't. I just see Shanahan being like, I want that dual threat, and both of those guys have a dual threat. I think, and I've said it plenty of times that I was not a Trey Lance guy, but I threw on the tape. I mean, the guy has a cannon.
Yeah.
Monster arm. And what I like about him, I know I bagged on his throwing motion, but he keeps the ball high, which is nice. Like
he doesn't start from the bottom, like
old school
bottom or anything, but it just stays high. Like on those outside routes where you're hitting somebody right on the sideline there, that ball stays high. So it's like not going to get picked. It's either thrown out of bounds or not. So he's got the arm strength. He's definitely the more wild card, though.
Yeah,
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He did come from D2.
The biggest project.
He's played 1 year, but he has all the potential. I think everybody's chasing the next Pat Mahomes.
What did they say about Pat Mahomes? They said raw, wild.
Right.
Exactly. But I think the Niners will go Trey Lance, but personally, I want Justin Fields.
Why though? Why do you want Justin Fields?
I think he gets these knee injuries, but he keeps playing. He didn't miss a game. So it's not like he was missing games from it. You know what I'm saying?
So you think it's an added attribute to his durability?
They're showing him knocked down. He's hurt. He's still playing. So I think it is definitely an added benefit that you can show this guy will take knocks that you're going to get in the NFL no matter how good you are.
We saw him against what was it, Clemson, where his knee got trashed. And
It was
he's a great player. He's a great. When was the last Ohio State quarterback successful in the NFL?
Andrew, I'm not on your board with comparing what college.
No, I know. I'm just saying
every player is different.
But
I'm not on or like Ohio State's never.
They're more like individual. But there are a lot of people that argue because that system, that university makes players look a little bit more attractive.
Exactly.
In this case, look at Troy Smith. Heisman Trophy winner.
Yep.
Right. All the best teams in the.
He wasn't a number 3 pick.
Is it Big Ten or something like that? I know, but I'm just saying they have a history of making quarterbacks look better than they appear. Definitely. And so I think that's what the risk is when you're looking at a Justin Fields.
I think if you just watch the throws he makes, I mean, he's got all the arm talent. He's got a huge arm. I always thought he was a little bit smaller, but he's good size. 6'3", 225. He's not going to have a problem throwing over the line.
I'll be happy if they take him. My thing is he backed up Jake Fromm at Georgia. He couldn't get it done in the SEC. So why couldn't he get it? If he's that great of the third pick, he should have figured it out, don't you think, over Jake Fromm?
He transferred,
right. And he
was a freshman. Yeah. He didn't play his freshman year and transferred.
Yeah.
He wants to play.
And I think Jake Fromm, I don't know. I mean, I get that. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And he went to a better team.
Yeah. And I think that there's an argument as well that it's not always who wins the job in the collegiate level because there's just such a development there, right? Like
18 years old.
If you look at Kamara, he transferred from Alabama. Does it mean that he wasn't the best back there, or was it not good timing for him, right? Did he still have development left? And he went to Tennessee, and now look at him. He's better than every single Alabama back, maybe arguably Derrick Henry, right?
Baker Mayfield transferred.
But still, he has proven to pave his own way, right? So it's not always necessarily because he doesn't have the talent. It's at that time, was he the most game ready? And that's all that college coaches think about. You know what I mean? It's like, where's our roster at? You have 2 great quarterbacks. Who's going to give us the biggest chance to win in these next 2 years, right?
And there's a lot to do with yours. I mean, I don't know I know Fromm was at least a year older than him. They both were.
And Fromm at that time, everyone was talking about him top 3 pick. Yeah. Everyone. And look what homie did at golly. Who plays for the Bengals right now? My mind's going blank.
Oh, Burrow. Yeah, Burrow at Ohio State couldn't get it done, but he went to the SEC.
Yeah, look at Burrow just did that in 1 year.
I honestly just watch the quarterback, watch the throws, because you can't just take their stats, their wins, the transfers. You just got to watch the guy, because you're going to go into Kyle Shanahan's system where you're throwing to open guys. Mm-hmm. So whoever's in there is going to be somewhat successful. That's why I do think we're going to go with the Trey Lance, because he just brings that added dimension, where he can run the ball. He's raw. If we do go Trey Lance, Jimmy's not going anywhere. Yeah. If it's Justin Fields, we'll see.
He's gone.
So you think if we do pick Justin Fields, there's a higher likelihood that he could.
Jimmy's gone.
Jimmy's gone that night.
Jimmy's gone?
That Jimmy will be gone.
He's gone in the draft. In the draft, he'll be traded.
If we get Trey Lance, Jimmy's staying.
Exactly. That's exactly what
is going to need that.
Yeah,
that
but
time.
Okay.
Justin Fields might not need that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, what is Kyle Shanahan thinking? Because these are all top tier quarterbacks, Keegan. So I'm splitting hairs with what happened with this guy? Why did he transfer? Like, these are the questions they're asking.
Yeah, but you're also bringing up history of colleges.
Sure, but these are the questions asked.
That's a logical question to ask, right?
it's splitting hairs with the great. These guys are all great. You really can't go wrong. But it's like, I want to get Pat Mahomes. Like that's what they're thinking. Like I don't want to just
Because
get.
the same thing was said about AJ McCarron. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Alabama quarterbacks have never made it. Why would AJ? And he still didn't, right?
He didn't,
yeah.
It's a logical argument to be made.
I just think you got to look at the player. I mean, Justin Fields outplayed Trevor Lawrence in the semifinal.
Sure.
I mean, he outplayed him. He was the best player on the field that day. So why not? I mean, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback. He got outplayed by another guy that's right there. So I like both of the guys. I'm going to be stoked for both. But I'm excited for Fields.
Even if it means Jimmy leaving a little premature.
Yeah. Okay. But I'll be honestly, whoever, even if it's Mac Jones, please don't be Mac Jones. I'm going to be behind whoever we pick. And I trust Shanahan.
And I think we're the fans that are all the same way. I think we were all shocked when Ayuk got picked. We're like, man, we're going to be behind this guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you see him pop off the screen. You're like, holy shit, I'm so glad we drafted.
And then all of a sudden, I'm going to be watching YouTube.
And that could be the same thing.
Get excited.
That could be the same thing with Mac Jones. You know, we're like, what the fuck? And then he goes in there and he's fucking Matt Ryan 2.0. Like, God, great pick. Yeah. Right?
Either way, I'm going to be
so this conversation only holds so much weight, but it's important, you know, like we all have our thoughts and our worries going into the draft. And I think that's why we're talking about it. So Andrew, Trey Lance guy, Keegan came around more to Trey Lance, but is still a Fields guy. I've always been a Trey Lance guy, especially if you watched our older podcast. I like his frame. I like his build. I like the way that he plays. And even though he can run, you know, I don't know how much separation these wide receivers are really making. You saw him make his progressions. And, you know, if you're playing D2 and some average DB is locking up your average wide receiver and, you know, you're just way more athletic, like, you know, how tempted would you be to run the ball? And that's what I was thinking, right? And he still made 29 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. So he's very efficient, right? And not saying he's got there's work to be done, but if you're going to take a raw prospect, I like seeing that on tape. I like seeing limited mistakes because that's what the NFL is all about. And us as 49ers fans, I could confidently say that us three would all agree that we're sick of fucking seeing turnovers, right? Turnovers, we've seen enough in the last year. Like
fourth quarter, game on the line.
I mean, we lost to the fucking Giants, or we lost to the Eagles. We had like 4 turnovers that game. Yeah. Nick Mullins threw 2 interceptions in fucking 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. And we're like, what the fuck?
And guess what? Our starter is out. So,
you know, like at this point, it's like, give me fucking Alex Smith, right? Like anyone that's going to control the ball, right? And not give it up to the next team. So what my pick is it's still Trey Lance. I think he has a very extreme ceiling. I think that there's untapped potential that we haven't even seen with this guy yet. Yep. And I think it confirmed it even more when I heard this gentleman speak, because you're a leader of men out in the football field. It's not just your attributes and your skills. It's your personality, your analytical, like the way that your brain works, right? And this guy, you could tell within, 5-10 minutes of him talking that, the guy gets it. He understands football. He knows what he needs to get better at. And I just like hearing him in the interviews. That being said, I also like hearing Justin Fields. This is someone that I really wasn't interested in. And the more and more I saw of him, the more and more I was impressed in. We're like, Justin, do you mind doing another pro day if another team asks you? He's like, absolutely not. I'm going to do what is asked of me. And that's exactly the type of mentality that Jimmy G has and that successful people in the league do have.
And Shanahan wants a guy that's yes, sir. Like,
yes, yeah.
He doesn't want no.
He doesn't have time for bicker.
No. Somebody that wants all the limelight. No. Shanahan's running that team.
Yeah, and there are questions about Mac Jones. He's got 2 DUIs already. Like, has he matured enough to go to the next level, right? And he just doesn't pop off the stage. You saw him in his pro day overshooting wide open wide receivers when there's no pads, nobody. So how is he going to react when you do have a 6'6", 280-pound DN coming at you? Are you still going to overshoot that player, right? Pro day should look as best as you can look. And I was most impressed with Trey Lance and with Justin Fields. And I think if the Niners pick either or, I will still be excited. I will still rally. And I'll say that was a good move to go up to 3.
I agree.
If we pick up Mac
Either
Jones
or.
at 3, I'll say that was a reach and a waste. Unless he proves it later on in that year or later on in the couple years that we made a great decision. With Fields, I truly do still believe in Jimmy. I've seen him a lot. We've both seen him live. And I think that if he continues to build and work on his deep ball, again, we're going to have to see the progression. There's going to be a competition no matter who we draft. But I think that if we go into this season and we're like, you know what? The only full season that Jimmy G has put together, we made it to the Super Bowl. Okay. Now we have even more power. We have even more offensive power. We have even a better defense than we did before. And we have Jimmy G more determined than ever to prove people wrong. I love him being in this position to prove others wrong. Does that mean that Trey Lance sitting behind him doesn't start next year? No. But that means that we just upped our stock with Jimmy G. And if we win the Super Bowl, yeah, let's go into next year. Let's go into the next year after that. But we have Trey Lance grooming underneath him and getting better and better every day. And if he needs to step in earlier due to injury, I'm confident that he'll be able to do the job. Yes. Fields may be more game ready right now, but I think that if we have patience that we've had in the past with our current roster and with Jimmy G being healthy and more determined to prove other people wrong right now, I think Trey Lance is the perfect fit with where the Niners are. If you would have told me after, week 5, let's say this year, and Jimmy G gets hurt and Trey Lance comes in and just doesn't do the job, maybe I'll have a little reluctancy, but I don't think that'll happen just because I do believe in Jimmy, not long-term, but in the short term. And I think the best person to back that guy up in this point of his career is Trey Lance. And the last time we thought someone was too raw and didn't play enough competition, didn't win enough games was Pat Mahomes, and look what happened, right?
All right, so let me ask you this. I mean, do you think Shanahan, if it is Trey Lance and Jimmy's on the roster for camp, he's not going to have an open competition between those guys? He's going to have let's say Trey Lance is better.
He will. I just don't think that Trey Lance.
He will.
What if he is better?
Then I trust in Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, but
I support him 100%.
Jimmy's draft value will drop big time if he's not playing.
Yes.
So in my eyes, I will not be surprised if Jimmy is traded day one, because Kyle will know who he's bringing in is better than Jimmy.
Right. But
right away.
But the smart choice is to put him behind, like Kurt Warner with Eli Manning, Tommy Maddox, Ben Roethlisberger. Those guys worked out because
I think,
but there's plenty of guys that worked out starting day one.
What Andrew said is very correct, right?
Justin Herbert.
I think the odds of getting a first rounder for Jimmy or a second rounder is a lot lower than the odds of Jimmy G panning out for the beginning of the season and being a better quarterback than Trey Lance. Like, I think that he's learned, all he's had to do was sit and stew about how he fucked up and hurt his ankle, right? He's learning even more of the playbook. We're going on year 3 now. Like, I just don't see anybody, even Justin Fields, beating him out. Because we're not losing a rookie, right? All we're doing is like, okay, how does Jimmy look? But if Jimmy doesn't look good in practice, then how are we going to stop him?
But I still think at any time it comes down to what a team offers us. What if the starter goes down in training camp for a bad team?
That increases. Yeah.
We need Jimmy if we get Trey Lance.
At any time, though, if the Niners can get a first-round pick for Jimmy is gone.
But we're not going to risk this season over it, is what I'm saying.
If we can get a first-round pick at any time this offseason, draft night, training camp, Jimmy is gone.
I'm saying
not worth it.
He's gone.
I'm saying you get a look at mini camp, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Right, Keegan? You get a look at mini camp. And I'm saying if this rookie, whether it be Fields, Mac Jones, or Trey, doesn't seem game ready, then we're not even going to take that chance because
not even for a first round pick.
Absolutely not, because we are in win now mode.
I agree.
I think a first round pick at any point, Jimmy is gone.
But then that could be another quarterback, and then it's just like, here comes the carousel again.
Cool. So we throw another year out the window.
We are giving up so much draft capital that you're going to play this guy. There's guys that go in, and if you're a player game one.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
If you can get a first round pick, it almost makes your 2 first rounders that you gave up, a little sweeter. You only really gave up 1.
Right.
That's a good point.
Jimmy's on his way out either way, right?
Yeah.
We all agree he's on his way out, right? So at any time that you get a first round pick, you're gonna take it.
That's
You're
probably
gonna
true. You're probably right. Yeah.
at any point. And I just feel like training camp, there's going to be a team that has some guy, their starter goes down, and they're like, we're in win now mode, like Ryan's talking about.
Yeah, we are in win now.
And they're going to go give up the next, next future one, and we'll get that back for Jimmy. And Kyle's going to get whoever we.
And he'll just probably just limit the playbook for the new guy.
He might not even need to, dude. We're talking about primetime players. I even think Trey Lance, he could come in and surprise everybody.
Yeah, he could.
Nothing substitutes time. If you have 3 years and the most open playbook you have, maybe you do open it up with a little more wheels. It's an interesting take. I just feel like no matter what moves they make, it better be for us to win the fucking Super Bowl next year.
And they better be confident enough where they can put him starting week 1. Because if you're not confident enough where you think you have to sit him, then it's probably not worth giving all our picks for this guy if you're really not confident enough that he can start day 1.
Yeah, that's a good
a lot
take.
of good points. Yeah. So a comp I want to throw out here that could make everybody feel happy, excited about Trey Lance. It just occurred to me. I'll say the stats in the year, and you guys try to determine who I'm talking about. So the draft was 1997. Don't look it up. Division II quarterback, 3rd overall pick, 6'3", 230, about the same size. He ends up being one of the best quarterbacks of his generation. So that's kind of the comp. What's that?
Can you tell me the team?
It was the Tennessee Oilers at the time.
Steve McNair.
Correct. So that's kind of the comp. A guy comes from Division II. He got passed on by Division I's. He works his butt off.
Yeah.
Look at Steve McNair, dude. Tough as nails.
Eric Nair.
That's why I'm saying that you just watch the player. You don't need to watch so much around the team around him. But
that has an effect, though. Like with Brady, he was drafted 199th. He kept getting passed over. All these guys from big schools getting drafted. None of them panned out. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes it is like you grow that mentality of like, all you
I think he really over. I think he really paved the road on scouts and everyone looking past D1. You know what I mean? And same thing with Jimmy. You know, it's like, damn, a guy that went to Eastern Illinois.
Yeah. Just like
Brandon Ayuk was JUCO.
And he only played 1 year at it. Right? Well, 2 years.
Yeah, he was behind N'Keal Harry, which was big time there. I mean, he was still JUCO. And I mean, they tell these players all the time, doesn't matter where you go. If you can play and you're good enough to play in the league, they're going to find you. There's too many scouts out there for these NFL teams. They're going to find the players. Bill Belichick's at D2 scouting these guys.
I think the stakes
they know that
the stakes are just so high. I cannot wait for the draft.
Can't wait.
I know it's going to be crazy. Yeah. Khalil Mack went to a Division III until he transferred. Carson Wentz, of course.
Still a small school.
Danny Woodhead, I mean, say what you want. He worked his tail off because he got passed up by all these big schools. Ben Roethlisberger went to a small school.
Jerry Rice went to a tiny
Jerry
school.
Rice went to a Division II. Yeah, I mean.
It does not matter. If you can play, that's why I'm just like,
it transcends.
Obviously, Trey Lance can freaking play. I mean, he came in year 1. And just he was all over this.
How much buyer's remorse would you have if we picked Fields and then Trey Lance just got picked?
I think that's the risk we're taking with any of these 3. Honestly, boys, what if any of these 3 come in and just dominate?
I know.
We picked the wrong one. I know. We picked the wrong one.
But the thing that we have, thing that we Niners fans have for us is, even if we didn't pick the right one, Kyle Shanahan will make it the right one. And I'm very confident.
This is like his first time where he's truly picking his quarterback.
We're not talking about a Nick Mullins or a 3rd round CJ. We're talking about a 1st round pick. And I think that Kyle Shanahan will work to his strengths. But you got to think that he's licking his chops to add another element to his game.
You have to, right?
I mean, if you're a genius, do you want to limit your options, right? I couldn't imagine him picking him.
He turned RG3 his rookie year. Was he a rookie of the year?
He's phenomenal. We thought he was going to be the next best thing. The only thing is he did not play smart. He put himself in unnecessary risk. Yeah. And I think that Kyle Shanahan seeing that is going to remember that and put him in better positions. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan, we all can agree, is running the show. I mean,
Him and his dad.
His dad, yeah. He hasn't
Right
talked
down
to
the
any.
street at Shanahan's Steakhouse.
He hasn't.
That's right.
He hasn't talked to any assistants about the pick. So all the media that thinks they really have an insider, none of us know. The assistant coaches don't know. It's him, John Lynch, and his
And
dad.
I love that.
Maybe not even John Lynch at this
And I
point.
love that about our team.
It's
Like, it
Trey
is
Lance,
real
dude. They
tight.
know it's too easy to take Fields. Like it's
So
you can just tell on their face. It's Trey Lance.
word is today that the Niners met with Trey Lance's parents,
Oh,
and that is very rare where you meet with the parents.
yeah. In the
So
NFL,
that happened.
yeah.
That what came out today. That Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan was with his parents.
In Minnesota or
I didn't see. All I saw was the headline is that the 49ers meet with Trey Lance's parents.
ooh. Okay.
So I mean, I think that's why I think that we're picking Trey Lance. So,
What number is Trey Lance?
5?
Oh, there you
Jersey.
go. So you'd have a number 1 Justin Fields or a number 5 Trey
Trey
Lance.
Lance. I'd probably take the 5.
Because Debo would be pretty pissed off. Debo's like, no, that's my number.
Yeah, we'll see with Debo. I'm excited for the jersey changes to see who I'm going to pick, though. For sure, I'm getting somebody.
So the next topic you had is John Lynch on the hot seat.
And the only reason I brought this up, a lot of people are like, kind of random, right? Like I said, we're mortgaging our future on this pick.
It's his most risky move in his career.
And you talked about the press conference. If you watch the press conference, here's Kyle Shanahan. Yep. Just relax. Here's John Lynch. Fumbling his hands. You can tell he is nervous.
Oh, yeah.
He knows that this pick is deciding his future. And I know you said it gives him a couple more years. I don't know if it gives him that. If he's day one starter and he has a terrible year, I think the head has to roll, and it's not going to be Kyle Shanahan.
From the first year, if it's a bad first year, what about Jared Goff? He had Jeff Fisher in a really bad first year.
The problem is that the Niners got to the Super Bowl, and then we're going to follow it up with 2 bad years.
It'd have to be 2. Yeah, it'd have to be 2 or 3. It'd have to be Trey
Maybe 1
Lance.
year, but certainly not 2. There's a little less rope because the expectations were set high.
When you're making this pick for any team in any league, this GM job is on the line.
Who was the GM when George Kittle was selected in the 5th round?
Okay, I'm not saying that John Lynch is a bad GM. That's not what I'm saying. I love John Lynch.
And
he's made great picks.
Who's been saving so much capital and making – I just think that we make so many smart money moves under John Lynch that the only time we've ever seen a backstep was because of injury. And correct me if I'm wrong. I've never second-guessed any of our decisions except for maybe 2, right? Like the Jet was obviously a bad decision, and I guarantee you that was not John Lynch's pushing. That was a Kyle Shanahan move for his system. And then 2, Quan Alexander, right? So we've made a couple bad decisions, but
there's been quite a number.
But like the direction and just the turnaround and how fast and the culture,
that's Kyle Shanahan.
Sure, but at the end of the day, you know who gets blamed the most if you're not doing well is the GM. But you know who has the most influence is the GM. And all the reports that I've read is that he's willing to work with every team. He makes smart moves. He hasn't burned any relationships. It just even more so solidifies that relationship with the Shanahans because he was part of the Broncos for so long. And we've made moves. I guarantee you, if John Lynch wasn't a part of the picture, it would have been a lot harder to acquire Jimmy G. So I feel like, what other GM's just going to step in and have that type of pull that John Lynch does? And what did John Lynch do to deserve being fired, right? Like with Balky, there was glaring issues. With John Lynch, I really can't pinpoint.
So you're saying, let's say we take 3, we take Mac Jones. He is not a good quarterback. We trade Jimmy, Mac Jones comes in. You keep Johnny, just like, all right, we missed on that one. And just keep grinding with them?
Well, I think it's a partnership, right? So I think if you're strictly looking at the quarterback, I think John Lynch is outside looking in. I think he has so much trust. Because remember all those words about John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they really don't get along. Like they don't see eye to eye. When you're talking about the quarterback, I guarantee you John Lynch is giving him free reign because he knows how good he is at calling his plays and knowing his personnel and knowing weaknesses on the defense. That I think that if anything, he's giving Kyle Shanahan free reign on this individual pick. Maybe not on second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round. But I guarantee you he came into a meeting with Kyle Shanahan and was like, we will make this trade, but I need to know right now, where's your confidence level with these two individuals? Where's your confidence level, right?
I think that Kyle Shanahan, one, is running the show, but two, because of social media, the way the 49ers fan base is, that someone's head has to roll if we fuck up this pick. I'm sorry. Someone's got to go. And it's just, it has to happen because there's so much on the line on this pick. You're giving up
but they already signed like a 5-6 year deal. Like
that does not matter in this league.
I'm loving
we all know that doesn't matter.
Keegan's coming with the hot takes, and I like the energy.
I just know the NFL. I just know, and I know our fan base.
True.
They're not going to take us. They're not going to take us screwing up this pick and not having 2 more first rounders in the next 2 years.
No, yeah, I think the process would be like what Ryan said. Shanahan and Lynch were up sleepless nights talking about this pick. I'm sure talking to their wives, like couldn't go to bed, pacing. Right. And then they're like, okay, we're going to go to ownership tomorrow. We're going to run this by them. And then I'm sure ownership's like, okay, but if this year comes about and there's no results, you're gone. I'm sure there's some kind of like understanding. There has to be results by this time, 2023, 2022, who knows? Like it's the 49ers. It's not just like, oh yeah, we'll see. Well, hopefully it works out. Like there's shit going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And that we've taken 2 quarterbacks in the first round since like 1980 something. Yeah. 2. We just don't do this. We don't trade up like this. This is way out of the Niners. We all didn't surprise. Niners don't do this.
So you think his job's on the line? What do you think, Andrew?
I think he has a leash until he has he has a longer leash than he had a month ago. This bought him some time. I think it's like the president pressing the nuclear button. Like, all right, we got to press this. Then you can talk to the people. It bought him some time. If he gets Trey Lance and you groom him a little bit and he has some hiccups along the way, okay. But by like 2023, if this is a 6-11 season, you're out, dude. Like there's got to be some kind of timeline. Like by 2023,
there's always a timeline. But what Keegan's arguing is his job on the line in the next couple of years.
Oh, every GM's job. This is the NFL, and he'd be the hottest commodity of any GM. I guarantee you, the Broncos would hire him the day he got fired.
Guarantee you.
Guaranteed.
That's where I agree with you, Andrew. It's like, if you want to look at the success in an organization, look at the stability of the quarterback, the coach, and the GM. How long have they been in place, right? And if you see fluctuation in either of those 3, you're going to look at a poor organization, right?
Well, who's their quarterback for that time?
I'm just saying, you look at all 3 of them, quarterback, coach, GM. The longer that you can keep those 3 together, the more skin you have in the game, the more dependability, the more identity that you can establish, right? Like, I feel like it's not as loosey-goosey with the GM as it is with running backs or middle linebackers or anything else. You don't give them a year because of one pick. Like Andrew said, you give them to like 2023, right? Let's see if it's actually pans out. I would agree. It's a medium leash. It's not a long leash, right? Because we're in win now mode, where I agree with you. But it's also
mortgaging the future on this.
Mortgaging of the future. But I also don't think it's a short leash because we're not the Jets. We're not the Browns, right? We don't need to turn around our whole franchise. It's like, no, we've established ourselves. We know when we're healthy, we're successful. And we know that John Lynch has very good relationships with a lot of GMs in the league, which can help us make trades. You think that if John Lynch wasn't John Lynch, that we would have made that Trent Williams trade happen?
No, yeah.
Hell no.
There's something that comes along with that.
Do you think it was some random guy or any other GM in the league that we would even have anything to do with Trent Williams? Maybe because of Kyle Shanahan's, but he does not. Kyle Shanahan does not make trades. He does not set salaries. He doesn't do any of those deals. He just lets you know how he wants his team ran. But the person that gets it done is John Lynch. And I've been nothing but pleased with his efforts. Look at our roster. We have a great roster. Our issue is not the roster. Our issue is injury and durability. I haven't seen one season in the last 3 with a healthy team that we can't get it done. And that's why I don't think it's John Lynch.
Well, you said it's not a short leash, which is correct because 3 seasons in NFL time in like dog years is like 8 seasons in real life.
Yeah,
so
right.
like you give a guy 3 seasons, that's a pretty long leash. If it's like the Lions, it's like, hey man, maybe after this year you might be gone. So you know.
I also think the players we're getting, Ryan, is because of Kyle Shanahan.
No, he's not the one making the calls, man.
What didn't Mike Shanahan be with Trent Williams?
Trent
Williams had so much power in Washington, he could choose the team he wanted to be traded to.
I'm sure they have the influence, but
he picked the team he wanted to be
I'm
traded
sure they
to.
have an influence, but John Lynch is making those moves. He's signing on the dotted line. He is putting himself out there. It's not Kyle Shanahan.
Trent Williams making that move. I'm telling you,
Right.
Trent Williams has so much power to say what team wants him. Apparently, Washington had a better offer for Trent Williams. Trent said no.
Well, he was already out. He sat out for half a year.
Yeah, but
Why
Trent
would
said he did not want to go to that team.
They messed around with him too much. Yeah.
They fucked
He's
it.
just
They
a
fucked
different
it.
player where he could pick where he wants to go, and he wanted to be with Shanahan.
Yeah. Why
He
do you
didn't
think we
say
have
he came
Trent
here
Williams?
because of
Why
John
do you
Lynch.
think we have Trent Williams right now?
Because of Kyle Shanahan.
He
Shanahan.
didn't make that call.
This is
Mike
like the old
Shanahan,
days of
Kyle Shanahan.
this is
I'm
like
just
the old
saying,
days
man,
of
the relationship they have, it's a perfect harmony. Why would
It
you want
is,
to
yeah,
fuck
it's
that
just-
up? You want to bring some random in here that's going to collide even more with
Kyle's going to
Kyle?
pick his next GM.
So this
I
wanna-
like John Lynch.
I
But
want
I'm
to
telling
throw
it's
this
Kyle
at you.
Shanahan's
That's
show.
why both of them got hired at the same time, dude.
It's Kyle Shanahan show.
Keegan, I want to throw
Kyle
this at
Shanahan
I want to
got
throw this at you real quick though.
hired well before John Lynch.
Like who do you think
The
Kyle
season.
Shanahan aspires
Oh, well,
to be?
That's
the season
off-season,
before.
yeah.
Yeah, the
They-
season
Was
before.
at the same time.
So when they
both
came up
together.
for the new GM position, you don't think Kyle Shanahan and you say is
Yeah,
who they want?
You're saying they came at the same time. Kyle Shanahan came in, and then they went and got a GM.
Right. The next season.
He
So, yeah.
just like he can pick the next one.
Oh my God.
This is Skip and Shannon. Hold on a second. Skip and Shannon. So I want to throw something at you. Who does Kyle Shanahan aspire to be besides his dad? It's got to be Bill Belichick. Who's Bill Belichick's GM? It's Bill Belichick. So what if Kyle Shanahan wants to be the coach and GM? What do you see? What would happen then?
It's his. It's
You
honestly
think
his.
that's the ultimate goal for Kyle Shanahan? I want to be the coach and GM.
I think he just wants to win.
I
If
already-
that's what it means, then yeah.
I already think he is a mini GM. He's calling these shots. He's calling who the third pick's going to be.
You don't like John Lynch?
John Lynch is great with everybody else. He's great with it because he's got to do so much as a GM. Media. He's got to work with the cafeteria workers. John Lynch, he calls him Mr. Superman or whatever. But Kyle Shanahan, when it comes to football picks, who he wants on his team, it's all him.
So you have a GM.
Kyle said, "Yeah, I want Trent Williams."
I know, but I'm saying you have a GM that listens to that. Not a lot of GMs do that kind of shit, is what I'm saying.
That's why Andrew says, "Why cut that guy out?" And just
Right,
make
and
his
that's
own
the only
decision.
situation I could see. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't get no better than with Kyle Shanahan than John. It doesn't get any better for Kyle Shanahan than having John Lynch as a GM. That's all I'm saying. And that it is a medium.
Yes, sir. No, sir. That's
It ain't a short lease. It ain't a short lease.
I like the fire tonight.
It's only because he's had a couple.
Like this is like fucking the old days of Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless.
Kind of.
I
but
miss that. I
at
hate
least
Max
we don't have any
Kellerman.
like outrageous takes. I mean, both of us can agree on some of these things. I think we're both understand that.
We just want to fucking win.
We just want to.
We just want to win. And
Just win, baby. Just
I
win,
like
baby.
John Lynch. There's not a
I do
move
like
that-
John Lynch. too.
There's not
I do like.
what the GM is responsible for more than anything is putting together a winning roster. Has John Lynch done that? Yes or no?
I think
Has John Lynch done that? Yes or no?
it's different with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan.
I'm not
put
talking
the
about
roster
Kyle
together.
Shanahan. I'm saying the most responsibility that the GM takes is putting together a winning roster. Plain and simple. Do you agree, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to answer the question.
Yeah. Do you think John Lynch has done that?
I just think it's different for us.
Yes or no? No, yes or no?
In general, yes, but for us,
so why would he be on a short leash if he's put together a winning roster?
Because we're mortgaging the future for the third pick. And if that third pick doesn't work out, there's someone's head that has to go, and it's not going to be Kyle Shanahan.
So you think his job was not on the line, but because of this move,
made it risky. Exactly. Nothing before this would I ever talk about John Lynch's job on the line. It's only because we're giving up we're mortgaging future first rounder picks for this pick. And if it does not work out, I'm sorry, but someone's head is going to have to roll. Okay. And it's not going to be Kyle Shanahan. And Kyle Shanahan can pick his next GM or pick himself. And he
probably would pick himself. He probably will.
Let's just take a break let's take a pause to fucking thank Jed York for making this fucking happen. We had so many doubts in the York family about what direction they were going in. And the fact that we're arguing about Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch is a much better discussion than what we've had in the past.
Oh, yeah. Chip Kelly, wasn't Chip Kelly the GM and the coach?
No. It was still bulky at the time.
He kind of tried to be like a college coach and like recruit guys into like he still brought
that was the problem. That was the problem with Harbaugh, actually, is he wanted more power. He wanted more say, and Balky wasn't having it. And I think if you would have had this situation where we may have had John Lynch at the time, he would have been, look at your rap sheet. Yeah, we'll give you more power. Yeah. And that's why I like John Lynch so much, is that he just cares about winning. And if Kyle Shanahan wants more operation power, I don't think John Lynch is power hungry. I think he's win hungry. And that's what I like about John Lynch.
He's a team first guy. At Stanford, he was he got recruited as a quarterback. And then they're like, no, we want you to play on the defensive side of the ball. Okay, coach. And then look what it leads to. You know,
everybody likes him. The players respect him because he was a player. I mean, I like John Lynch. I'm not trying to say that, and I think he has done a great job so far. I just think because of the draft the trade that happened, he's got a very short leash now.
Well, what's the timeline of that leash? What does the leash look like? What year?
If our guy that we pick third starts day one and Jimmy's gone and he blows it, then he's gone.
The first year?
First year.
What about
if the player comes in mid-season, then maybe he has one more.
Okay. So 2020.
If Jimmy is gone, Jimmy has to be gone.
Okay. So there's a couple stipulations to that.
A couple stipulations, which it could easily happen. We could easily get a first-round pick for Jimmy and our third pick starts. We could all agree that could happen.
Yeah.
I just think he looks nervous. He knows that this pick is going to be absolutely his job is on the line. He knows that in the back of his head.
I think there's some overreaction here because John Lynch
looks nervous.
John Lynch just hasn't made very many risky moves. You look at his rap sheet.
Yeah.
He's very conservative with our money and with our picks. And
I wouldn't say conservative with our money at all. I mean, I've seen.
Look at our list of players. Look at our cap room compared to the rest of our division. That's in win now mode. We have more cap room than anybody in our division.
I'm going to bring up some numbers because I sent this to Ryan. I mean, it was a few months ago now. Number one, career earnings for the 49ers. Career earnings. Number one, D Ford.
That was a bad fucking
D Ford, 34
I totally forgot about D Ford. Yeah.
He's still in the squad, and we're still paying him a ton of money.
Yeah.
He's going to play this year. Yeah.
On like an injury.
We'll see. Number two, Weston Richburg, $29.9 million.
Yeah, it's too
not healthy.
Yeah.
Too much money for that guy.
Yeah.
Too much money. Number three, Solomon Thomas. That was a John Lynch pick, wasn't it?
I mean, but so. Then again, what goes into the picks, who has the influence? Maybe it was a solid pick, who knows? But yeah,
who he's the GM,
he's the quarterback of the Niners. Yeah, he should have the shine with good picks. He should have the bulk with bad picks. You're absolutely right.
Number four, you already mentioned him, Quan Alexander, $23.3 million. Now we can say, I mean, we positive about Quan. He brought some culture, but that's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Next one, their big first signing for the Niners, Pierre Garcon, $22.7 million.
That was terrible.
Didn't do absolutely anything. Yeah. Next one is a little bit more controversial because he's still a starter for us.
Wait, before you go to the next one though, Pierre Garcon, wouldn't that be a Shanahan? Wouldn't that be on his back? Because it's like didn't he come from Washington too?
I know, but again, like we were discussing, it's like at the end of the day, the
GM
signs off.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Next one, Mike McGlinchey. So far, $15.4 million. We can all agree that his
rookie year was the best.
He has been falling apart on his pass rush.
One of the best run blockers in the league.
We did not
absolute liability.
We did not pick up his 5th-year option. So this is after this year, he's a free agent.
Arguably the reason why Jimmy got hurt last year. Because that was on his side and it fell right on him.
How many times did he just give up sacks?
Yeah.
Let's hope he gets. I mean, he's shown glimpses, obviously, that he can be there. But next one, Jarrett McKinnon, $14.6 million.
Yeah. That was a huge influence, just like Pierre Garcon. So, like we've said, right? It's a benefit and a curse, right? But who's to say that these same moves wouldn't be made if we had Keegan's wish, Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan running it all, right?
I think he already does.
It doesn't jump off the screen when you're like Jared McKinnon, Pierre Garcon, like, oh, these are Kyle Shanahan.
D Ford. I mean,
and I think Kyle Shanahan in love with D Ford. And I think when you're new as a GM position, which a lot of these picks were made as a young GM, I think you make those mistakes. You have those growing pains. But you know what he did? Within 3 years of being a GM, he took us to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
You can't forget about that.
Trent Baalke also took us to a Super Bowl.
I agree.
How long did it take him?
Not that long, actually.
No. Yeah. He was GM 5 years
2008, 2009 when
he was GM 5 years before. 5 years before he made
for sure on that.
Yes.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying with these new GMs. It's kind of like playing fantasy football. Because if you look at Pierre Garcon and Jerick McKinnon, at the time you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
these guys were great. It's like fantasy football. You're like, yeah, let's get these guys on my team.
Right.
You know, and then you stop playing fantasy football and you're like, okay, what did the scouts say?
You can't really blame the intent on it. Was it a bad move? Yeah, but the intent and the fit looked great.
Yeah, they're big names.
Who could predict Jerick McKinnon tearing his ACL in practice? Non-contact practice. Who can predict that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So, like, are you making educated moves, right? And look at D Ford. What did we need? A pass rusher. What did he prove the year before? That he was one of the most elite pass rushers in the league. Right. So the intent was there. What we're not doing is drafting a third round player, first round talent, but in the 3rd round because they tore 2 ACLs and we believe that they're going to reassemble their career. And we saw that all too many times with Trent Baalke, you know.
Trent Baalke
that's crazy.
Took over GM role 2010 in place of Scott Callahan.
So it was 2 years, huh?
And we went to the Super Bowl 2012, and he was named Executive of the Year.
That's true. But we also had Jim Harbaugh come and just change everything around, right?
Yeah, just like you could say Kyle Shanahan.
That's true.
The one that's turned everything around.
That's true. So interesting. I thought it was 5. For whatever reason, I had 5 years. I thought it was 2007.
Yeah, I was saying 2008. Yeah, so around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just so much. There's so much.
You probably agree that we gave him too much time, though, as GM. You probably want him fired.
Jim Baalke?
Yeah.
I think it was just the level of picks, right? It's like year after year, we weren't hitting on 1st and 2nd rounders. It's like, how many years can we go through this, right? If you don't hit on 5th, 6th, 7th, that's fine. But when you hit AJ Jenkins, when you hit who was the dude from Florida State, the defensive lineman?
I couldn't even think of his name because he probably didn't play much.
Yeah. What we were talking about, Andrew, is like, you can't afford to miss on your 1st and 2nd round picks that Trent Baalke consistently missed on. You know what I mean?
He did terrible.
And I think the only pick that we missed on the first
Carlos Hyde
on the 1st and 2nd round picks with John Lynch is probably Dante Pettis.
Solomon Thomas.
Dante Pettis, yeah.
But then there's also fucking Reuben Foster.
Reuben Foster didn't work out.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a
Who's
GM.
the last first round pick that did?
But I think it does make it. I think it does make up for it when you have a GM that works and gets value picks in the late rounds. You have Fred Warner in the 3rd round.
Definitely. George Kittle,
who is arguably the best middle linebacker in the league. When you're looking at positions that are the best in the league,
he is the best.
They're under John Lynch.
Yeah.
You're looking Fred Warner in the 3rd round, arguably the best middle linebacker. George Kittle in the 5th round, arguably the best tight end in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Tied for best, yeah.
All undrafted guys that we picked up.
Joey Bosa, an obvious hit.
That was handed to us.
Was it? A lot of people wanted Quentin Williams, and there was an argument there.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I don't know.
You got to take the good with the bad, but in general, like, how interested are we now than we were right after Kaepernick fell off the map? You know what I mean? And we had to wait so long, and everyone jumped ship, and it's like,
yeah,
for someone to turn around an organization so fast, it's like you give them more time. You know, like if we were good since Kaepernick, if we were in the playoff picture year after year and we gave Lynch a shot, short leash. But we had to deal with 4 miserable fucking years and 2 terrible coaches before we got to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And when we signed them, I was jumping up and down.
But would you honestly be okay? Well,
weren't you though? I mean, I was happy with.
I was going to phrase this question: would you be worried if John Lynch was fired? But I guess we would all be worried because then we'd be coming off a bad year, right? But if he honestly, so what if we had a decent year and John Lynch got fired? Would you be that worried? Because we still have the roster, we still have our coach.
If we just got rid of Jimmy G and we went with our 3rd overall pick and we went 2-11. I would understand it. I'd be like, God damn it, we made bad moves.
2 and 15.
2 and 15, yeah.
2 and 15. That's so crazy.
2 and 15, okay? But if we went with Jimmy G, majority of the year, for the whole year, and we had Trey Lance behind him, and we made it to the playoffs and lost in the NFC Championship, or even lost in the 1st round, I'd say, okay, cool. Let's give it another year and see where Trey Lance is. I would not say jump ship. What would it take for you to say John Lynch is out?
But I brought it up before that Jimmy G is gone. The 3rd pick's the day 1 starter, and we suck.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
So wouldn't it make more sense what me and Andrew are talking about?
If Jimmy G is the starter,
you're the one that's pushing for the ungroom.
groom them. You gotta groom these guys.
All I'm saying is that we get offered a 1st-round pick for Jimmy G. He's gone. And it could happen because the NFL is so deprived of quarterbacks that if someone gets hurt, something happens in training camp, that they're going to go get Jimmy because teams are going to risk that 1st-round pick because they need a quarterback. I really think Chicago is like right up the street because Andy Dalton is average. He goes down. Even if they doesn't go down, they could give him a 1st-round pick. Local guy, get the fans behind it. I just don't know. We all agree Jimmy is a good quarterback. I think he could be worth a 1st-round pick in a lot of these teams.
But I think it would take a year to make him a 1st-round pick. Like if the scenario I just played out, we lose in the 1st or 2nd round in the playoff with Jimmy G the whole way, someone's going to give us a 1st round. And we're that much more confident about
definitely. Oh, definitely.
And that's my, obviously, if we're not going to win the Super Bowl, that's my ideal situation is we make the playoffs. Jimmy G looks great. We hear riveting things about Trey Lance in the background, and he gets traded for a 1st round. And then next year we have another 1st-round pick. We get to solidify our offense a little bit more. Defense, secondary is still going to be questioned.
I mean, I think that's our perfect situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Perfect situation is Jimmy G just wins the Super Bowl, and then we have Trey Lance to groom. That would be perfect. But
do we make the mistake and then we win the Super Bowl, trade Jimmy G, and then Trey Lance sucks?
We would not trade Jimmy G to win the Super Bowl. That's not going to happen.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I don't take away that. I just think that the takeaway we take is that, one, Kyle Shanahan is not making this. I had this on Twitter earlier, and I think it's perfect. And it just kind of goes in with what we're talking about. Imagine Andy Reid saying, "No, I don't want to take a big swing on this Patrick Mahomes kid. I'm good with Alex Smith because he executes the game plan."
That would be fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Alex Smith had a great year before.
Yeah.
He still had a great year before Pat Mahomes came in. I think that we're putting in. Would you put Jimmy G ahead of Alex Smith?
No.
Probably not. No.
I'll take Alex Smith.
I just don't see Kyle Shanahan going into training camp. I don't care about the year grooming. Our third pick shows that he's game ready. He's a big time player. He makes those deep throws that we've all been craving for, right? Jimmy G still has he's not just all of a sudden going to be able to throw the ball down the field. This third pick, Trey Lance, is in there gunning it in camp, throwing it downfield to Ayuk. There is no way that we're like, no, we want to groom him. We got the Ferrari in the fucking garage. We're not going to drive it. We're gonna give the Civic a run today.
How many Super Bowls did Alex Smith take the Chiefs to?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
The point is that Pat Mahomes is right
But
there.
it does matter. It does matter. And that's what we're saying.
Jimmy G can't throw the ball down the field. He can't stay
I'm
healthy.
saying if we're a first-round exit or a second-round exit, you're absolutely right. But if we make it to the Super Bowl again, absolutely
Okay,
not.
so you're telling me that we go to camp, the third draft pick that we picked, Trey Lance, is way ahead of Jimmy. Throws the ball down the field, showing he's game ready. We're still going to go Jimmy.
You
That's
trade
what you're
Jimmy.
I'm
You
saying,
trade.
look,
We're training camp.
I'm saying look at Aaron Rodgers and Brett
No.
Favre.
Just the question itself.
Look at Aaron Rodgers
The
and
third
Brett Favre.
pick itself is way better. You think that we're going to give Jimmy the nod still?
It's a risky pick, you know. It's a risky move, you know.
I just
Because
don't
training
see
camp
it.
is training camp, but live games are
We
live
can't,
games.
we
and-
can't get that for Jimmy though. I'm going to bring up some some evidence. This has already happened in the NFL, 2012. Okay, Matt Flynn started the final game for the Green Bay Packers in 2012. The final game where Aaron Rodgers sat. He threw for 480 yards, 6 touchdowns, and that was like, holy shit, Matt Flynn. The Seahawks ended up signing him the very next year with a $20.5 million contract, $9 million guaranteed. This is our guy, Matt Flynn, because of that game in Green Bay. And then they draft Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson ends up beating him out in camp. They're like, all right, Matt, you're gone. You still got some value. They traded him for a 5th-round pick and a conditional 2015 draft pick. I don't know what that turned out to be, but I mean, that kind of proves Ryan's point too. Like, Jimmy hasn't done what Matt Flynn did to get a fit. Matt Flynn played one game to get himself $20 million and then a 5th-round pick. So you got to let Jimmy play a couple games. Let's say he balls out, then you go get like a 3rd-round pick.
I just think if the guy,
I think we can get second-round picks.
if the guy is better than Jimmy, you're going to play the other guy.
Sure. But
If he's not ready and he needs
but if
time,
you're not,
then yeah.
But if you're not losing games, if you're winning games with Jimmy, you're not changing shit up. That's my thing.
I don't even think it goes to the game.
If we're 1-3,
Day one starter.
if we're 1-3 and we get an offer for Jimmy, yeah. If we're 2-2, we get an offer from Jimmy. But if we're 4-0 with Jimmy, and you think you have more talent in practice with Trey Lance, that's great, right? That's
I don't
great.
think it goes that
But we're
way.
not moving it. I'm just saying, like, think about it, right? Like,
Jimmy could back him up week 1. He's not traded. He's sitting there on the
okay,
bench.
then Trey Lance comes in and struggles.
No, he doesn't.
I'm
That's
just
what
saying.
he doesn't struggle. He comes into camp,
Dude,
lights a fire.
We're talking about in-game, man. We're talking
That's
about
what I'm saying. You're
games.
saying you're not even
we're not talking about practice.
We're not talking
Talking
about
about the
practice.
game.
Yeah,
We're
but
not talking about
Ryan's saying you're
practice.
not even going to give him a chance.
Why would you
You're
give him
gonna
a chance
sit
if we're 4-0?
No, week 1. I'm talking week 1 training camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Training camp to week 1 is
Okay.
what I'm saying. If the guy is better,
I think it would have to be like
you're not
leaps
just
and
gonna
bounds.
throw out Jimmy.
I think it'd have to be leaps
the
and bounds.
least.
It'd have to
What's
be.
that show to the team too?
I'm saying it'd have to be leaps and bounds.
So
Bounce.
let's just
It'd have to
put-
be leaps and bounds. Like, this guy is like way better, right?
Yeah.
Then
Whoa,
yeah,
I can throw down.
then I
field.
agree. But if it's
Whoa.
like, oh, he can throw downfield, okay. Well, can he handle himself under pressure?
If he shows,
Can
he
he make the quick reads?
Right.
Can he get the ball out fast enough? Right? There's so many more elements.
Can he
than-
memorize plays?
Can he
Like, that's
memorize the
big
play?
thing.
And if he can
Right?
do all
It's
those
just like,
things,
it's like you're talking about simple 1+2 when we're talking about Kyle Shanahan's calculus. Okay, we're talking about complex shit, and when you're dealing with adversity, Jimmy G has proven even if he throws an interception, he's the best quarterback after turnover in the league. He is. He is.
We still went to number 3. We mortgaged our future to say bye-bye to Jimmy. He's still on his way out. I don't know what you see that Jimmy's like going to just be handed this thing when obviously they're not happy with him.
Because he
They're
was
not
injured.
happy with him.
Because he was injured. When he's healthy,
They're
what
not
if they
trading two future first rounds to have him not get hurt.
Well, then we would have
Oh,
traded
you know
Jimmy
that-
already. Why wouldn't we have traded him?
They just want to
Because
groom.
the honors aren't
quarterback.
there.
They want to groom a
You know-
guy. They want to groom a guy, and the only way you do that is with Jimmy. That's
And I feel like it's deja vu. You had the same take about Trey Lance, and you were so passionate about it. But look,
I
who
like
picked
it.
that.
I like it. I like
All I'm
it.
saying is if the guy's better than Jimmy, which most likely he is going to be, that we're giving up so much to know that whoever we're picking is better than Jimmy. Obviously.
But
because
wasn't Ben Roethlisberger way better than Tommy Maddox? And they're like, hold on a second, you got to sit here. Like
Ben Roethlisberger was not picked number 3 in the NFL draft.
Michael Vick, he was way better than Chris Chandler. But still, they're like, no, you got to sit behind Chris. Like,
And imagine starting Mike Vick from week 1 and what you
Yeah,
got.
but Chris Chandler didn't go to the Super Bowl. Neither did Maddox.
He did go to the Super
Right.
Bowl. Chris Chandler did. He lost to the Broncos.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
All I'm saying
Falcons,
is that
Broncos?
in my eyes,
Oh.
we're not going to sit a better quarterback. It's win now. If the guy's better, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. If he's better than Jimmy, then we're going to put him in. We're not just going to sit back this year and like room him. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. And if he's better than Jimmy, which most likely he will be,
He's going to get better.
he's
than
going to
Jimmy.
play.
He's going to get better
Week
than Jimmy
1.
in 2
But the
weeks.
grooming process could be maybe
There may not even be a
1 or 2
mini.
weeks.
There may not even be a mini camp this year, and you're talking about him beating Jimmy.
There is going to be a mini camp. Who cares?
There may not be.
Who cares about mini? I'm talking about training camp. Preseason. All 4 preseason games will be played, and there will be fans. I just think that we've given up on Jimmy by going to get this
Yeah.
3rd pick. We've given up on him.
Well, I think we're
We've
leveraging.
given up on him.
Well, it's
And we're
a
gonna
really
get a
smart
first rounder,
decision.
hopefully.
You have 3 years with Jimmy, 2 years he's hurt. Of course, you're going to make a fucking move because you have the roster.
It was also one deep ball throw away from Sanders from winning the Super Bowl.
Our defense also blew it too. You know, you can argue both sides.
But there's things with Jimmy that we can all agree on that he lacks. And what if
Keegan,
this
you've,
third pick
you've
comes
come
in
to
and he's better?
to that side of that deep ball theory too. I know, like I was saying it too. I think a couple of podcasts ago, like we're 1 deep ball away. It's true though. That pass gets completed, we win the Super Bowl.
And Jimmy's the hero.
wide open receiver.
Jimmy outplayed Pat Mahomes for 3
But
quarters.
how many times do we watch games together? We're like, yep, Jimmy's always due for 1 interception, 1 just terrible throw.
I know.
Let's get a quarterback in there that's not due for that every game.
Yeah.
That can throw the ball 40, 50 yards down the field. Jimmy can't do these things. He's shown time after time, healthy, that he's going to make those same mistakes.
But then
How many throws did he make in that playoffs?
the full year
It was
that,
all running.
the full
Oh,
year
the
that
Packers game.
Packers running. The next game, he threw like 17
the
passes.
full year that he did play those
In the
last couple
playoffs.
games. I mean, he just made clutch throws in the pocket. The pocket is collapsing, and he's slick legged, move up in the pocket,
Yeah,
move
some big
around.
throws, but we still relied on the defense and the running
Forget
game.
now after last
Yeah.
year. But, you know, you were the biggest Jimmy G fan as well. And,
You got to burn that jersey, dude. You got to burn the
Yeah.
jersey.
He's got 2.
I was
And he's got
joking.
2,
I'm
you
just
know? And
looking at what's in front
we
of us.
quickly forget about that. And I would forget about it, but I think it's all about this year, man. It really is. I think this is the most
Yeah.
motivated Jimmy that we've ever seen. Can Tom Brady make all the throws?
Every
Ish.
single throw.
Yeah, he really
Every
can. He really
You
can.
know,
Surely can. He
but-
surely can.
He really
but-
can, dude.
Tom Brady can do anything.
But can he buy time and do all the fancy stuff? No. You know?
For the most
We're-
part,
you
yeah.
don't bring up Tom Brady because we don't have
He's
that.
Mr. Checkdown, and he wins Super Bowl after Super Bowl. The one season that Jimmy G played start to finish,
Do not
we
compare
made it
him
to the
Tom
Super
Brady.
Bowl. I'm just saying, if the guy had the durability of Tom Brady, we wouldn't have this conversation.
I think there could have
And
been a
that's
number
the
of
reason,
quarterbacks on
and
the roster.
we would
who have
also
done this.
not make the move for number 3 if Jimmy G was healthy. So
Sure.
it'll be interesting, and I only want the best for the Niners, whether it be Jimmy G
We
or
all
not.
do. We all do. And I just
So
think I'm
let's
just
not
so
jump
excited
ship for a 20-year-old in 2 seconds. I'm saying let's see how this year.
I'm jumping ship. Whoever we pick, I'm all behind. I'll tell you what, I'm all behind
Oh,
my
yeah.
guy. Whoever,
am too.
even freaking Mac Jones, dude. I'll get a Mac Jones jersey. I don't care. I don't want him, but whoever we get is my guy. Jimmy's on his way out. Goodbye. I'm sorry. At any point, he's goodbye. If it, for some crazy reason, he wins us the Super Bowl and he's still our quarterback, we still spent 2 future first-round picks on a backup quarterback
that can extend our winning after him. You don't understand. QB is the most valuable position in the league. So first-round picks don't matter.
In sports,
they don't.
Right? In all sports.
Arden Key, we just picked up from the Raiders, right? They dropped him. Arden Key was a first-round pick, top 10. Like, I'm talking picks don't care unless you can
trading
prove it.
If we were just
don't care unless they play. Man.
If we were just sitting at 3, I think I would have a little bit different.
Solomon Thomas, fuck off. Reuben Foster, fuck off.
Yeah.
Those are 2 first-round draft picks right there. We could have traded. You know,
we're talking about
big fucking deal.
We didn't trade. We didn't trade 2.
All that matters is
winning.
winning. All that matters is winning.
The only sport where picks matter is the NBA. If you have a lottery pick in the NBA, you're fine.
100%.
Other sports, who knows Tom Brady's going to come at 199?
Yeah,
who knows?
100%. Couldn't agree with you more.
The only caveat to that is Nikola Jokic. He came out of nowhere. He's going to win the MVP. Yeah. Most other guys, top 10 picks, you know what you're getting: a Chris Paul, you're getting a LeBron James,
Steph Curry.
You know you're getting future Hall of Famers, MVPs all the time. Like you
just at least have better odds. You know what I mean?
Way better odds. Yeah. NFL, it's like
fucking
go through this list of
first-round draft picks for a potential first-round quarterback. Fuck off.
Like Mitch Trubisky is chopped liver right now.
I think the Rams are doing all this shit because it doesn't fucking matter. As long as you can pay these players, that's where they fucked up.
It's like big
for us to make one risky move for 2 first-round draft picks. I could care fucking less.
It's Bitcoin. Draft picks are like Bitcoin. Like it could be something. It might not. You know, like buy my Bitcoin. I'll get Mitch Trubisky.
Even Eric Armstead could be arguably a bust. He's only had 1 good year. 1 good fucking year. Last year we saw him the same Eric Armstead.
True.
Well, we have not traded up 2 first-rounders for any of these guys.
I know. It's out of our ordinary.
There's extra pressure on whoever we pick because of what we did. And that will be glared upon over all our.
But if we win the Super Bowl, I don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck. You win Super Bowls, no one's going to complain about the third overall pick trade. No one, whether they're starting or not. For sure. They're going to be like, sweet, we have this great person behind Jimmy. Hell yeah. He's only 20 years old. I mean, how old is Trey Lance? 20?
20.
Jesus Christ.
20. Justin Fields.
He's got 8 more years until he gets to Jimmy G.
Zach Wilson, 22. Yeah, like
you get 2 Super Bowls out of Jimmy, and then you put in Lance at 23 years old. Like, is anyone going to talking about you trading 2 first-round picks? You know?
Yeah, that's like Steve Young. I'm sure everybody was pissed off in '93 when the Niners are like, "All right, Joe, you're going to Kansas City." Because the prior year he got hurt and Steve Young came in and won the MVP. So they're like, all right, you're gone. I'm sure there's some fans who are like, fuck this. We can't get rid of Steve or we can't get rid of Joe. But then it's like, we got 2 Hall of Famers. You can't.
It's all about winning. That's all I care about.
Winning solves everything.
And I don't care if Jimmy's at the helm. I don't care. I care about winning the fucking Super Bowl. That's all I care about.
Like we said, we're supporting whoever is there. I'm just reading behind the lines of what could happen, what we're doing. That's all it is. But of course, whoever takes the field and wins us games, I am all behind.
You're not going to be like, what about our 3rd-round pick? We're 4-0, but he's better in practice. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Imagine if the coach actually said that. Like, I know we're 4-0, but in practice, we're going to sit this guy because in practice, guys, he's really killing it in practice.
Jumps off the screen.
Okay, I will say that if Jimmy is week 1 starter, then he's the better quarterback. I'll right behind that. So if he is 4-0, then we made the right decision. But I think if the other quarterback is better in training camp, then we'll have no problem to bench Jimmy.
Yeah, but I just don't want there any controversy if Jimmy's winning, right? Like, there's just going to be no issue.
And at that point, I'm going to be like, yeah, Jimmy was better than I think it's there because he is starting.
I think it's highly unlikely that someone beats out Jimmy. I
Really?
do. I think it's highly unlikely.
It's
no matter
just
who-
like Bryce Love right now. Like I'm sure people are like, yeah, we're gonna do this with Rodgers, but when Bryce comes in or Jordan Love, when Jordan comes in, he's gonna
and
keep winning.
They traded up for Jordan Love too.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers is better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, Aaron
He
Rodgers
is I
only
didn't-
one ring away. Only one ring.
yeah, he's only one. Hey, he's only one ring away.
One play away.
I will take Aaron.
One play away.
I'll take Aaron Rodgers at any draft pick,
Sure.
over Jimmy G any day. I think we can all agree on
Yeah, he's exciting to watch, and he's durable, right? And that's the one thing we're so sick of, right? And I think that if anyone's got a short leash going into next year, it ain't John Lynch. It's fucking Jimmy G. All
that.
right.
Well, yeah.
The guy fucking starts limping in a single play. We're going to be looking at the draft pick. We're going to be like, get him in there.
It's going to be interesting either way. I'm really excited. I would
Me
not
too.
be surprised, honestly, next Thursday if we see the Niners jump into the first. I won't. I'm going to put that out there now.
What do you mean?
To get Trevor Lawrence?
No, that we get a first round pick for Jimmy during the draft.
Oh, okay.
Draft night next week. I will not be surprised if it's all of a sudden the Niners are picking 22. We already know who the player's gone is. I will not be surprised. And if it doesn't happen, I'm not surprised either, I guess.
I just don't think you carry that big of a trade. I don't think he carries that much trade bait coming off of fucking another injury. Like, we're not getting that for Jimmy. We're just not. And if you think we're getting a first, it's a little bit
I
out
won't
there.
be surprised.
It's an out there.
We can name Jimmy better than a lot of other NFL quarterbacks right now that are supposed to
Because
start.
of the Super Bowl. That's
Andy
the only
Dalton.
fucking reason. Is because of the Super Bowl.
We could go down the
The year
list.
before, ACL. Last year, ankle. Who's going to
Trade a
Who's
first
going
round pick.
to leverage their future on Jimmy G at this point? No one is. So we have nothing to lose with Jimmy. That's the whole thing you're not getting.
All I'm saying is I won't be surprised if we trade him for a first round pick.
What's
third or fourth, maybe. I could see
Yeah.
I agree. What's the next subject?
it. Yeah, draft needs.
Draft
Needs for
needs.
this upcoming draft. I'll let you guys take it away. I'm
Kind of hard after all this.
I want you to start us off, Andrew.
So for me, I think offensive line. I'm always like offensive lines like pitchers in baseball. You can never have too much.
I agree.
So I'd be happy to grab just get the top offensive lineman on your board whenever that time comes up. If it's the second round, fine. Let's start getting some guys to protect the quarterback a little bit better. I'm big on offensive line this year just because last year, like you said, there was some plays and some situations where guys didn't do their job. They blew assignments. Jimmy was hurt because of it. Mullins had no time to throw a lot of the time. So I want to see offensive linemen heavy as much as we can. Just bulk them up, bulk that line up. And once we get to training camp, guys don't work out, then compete for jobs. Like let's get this offensive line built up.
Now, if
And
there's
then-
any other positions,
What's that?
any other positions?
Yeah, I had cornerback down just because Sherman is. What do you think? Probably not coming back,
And none of them are really locked into long
right?
term.
And
contract,
Barrett is
You can never have
injury
enough
prone.
corners.
Exactly. Cornerbacks are like O linemen, like pitchers. You can never have enough. So I'd like to see us kind of focus on that. I had Asante Samuels Jr. down as a guy I'd like to see them target. I think that'd be
In what
great.
round?
I didn't know about
I
him.
think he's going top 3 rounds right now, top 3 or 4. So we'd have to get him pretty early. So if we could get Asante, his dad was a great player.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Asante Samuels.
I would love to see us get a corner.
I think the defense was just way too hurt. I'm not too big on beefing up D line like a lot of experts are. We do have Ford coming back, like you said, on an injury deal. Maybe try to fill that spot, but
We
I'm
got
not.
the Rams guy. What's his name? Don't even know. But
They call him Sosa.
Yeah, he's supposed to be our DN guy.
I'm not worried about how the D line's going to be. I think it'll be just
I
fine.
think our D line's gonna be just fine. I mean, Nick Bosa's back. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just get a quarterback in the first round, and then fucking fill offensive line and cornerbacks.
I agree. I think secondary in general, safety wouldn't be a bad play. I mean, we're getting the same guys back, and it's been sometimes questionable. So I would.
Uh-oh. Is that John Lynch?
John Lynch is chiming in. And I think we can all agree that, we have a pretty set roster, even just going into the draft. There's not like these huge glaring holes, which is nice. We got a lot of guys back that we weren't expecting. Samson
Abukum. It could just be like Brandon Ayuk.
Super athletic. They asked him to be a linebacker, and it wasn't really his role with the coverages. But I think in his role with the Niners of just get after the quarterback, I think if you simplify it with the true athlete, I think he'll be a good fit.
He sacked Jimmy twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that our offseason as a whole went better than expected, getting our guys back. So that the draft itself is like coming down to this pick, and then everything else after that is like, filling in holes. They're probably not going to be day one starters. I don't see any position that we still have a second rounder, right?
Yeah, I think we have all of our rounds because the third round's not till next year.
Well, we traded
a third rounder, right?
We traded the compensation.
Yeah, but then I think we got a third round. I think we
check. Yeah, see what we got.
Yeah,
I think for sure we have a second. Either way, these guys are going to be like surprises that they're day one starters.
Yeah.
Right? Hopefully good guys for the future, but we're pretty solid across the board.
I think so too. Did you guys play Pokemon on Game Boy back in the day?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So you remember when you go to the little hospital and you put your Pokeballs down and it goes ding 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 and it like heals them back to health?
Yeah.
Like last year would be like 50 fucking Pokeballs of all the players, and you just set them all down on the tray and just dun, 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 like that's how injured they were. I remember watching games and you see like 20 players in the stands just watching the game.
The Niners actually have 9 picks next year, and we have 3 fifth round picks.
Yeah. Which has been our best. I mean, that's where
3 fifths in this next draft.
Yeah.
Do we have a third?
We have a first, a second, a third, a fourth,
in 3 fifths.
3 fifths.
So when the 5th round comes around, we're gonna be having a party.
Fuck yeah.
That's a party time.
Yeah. So my opinion is 100%. Like after the quarterback's addressed in the first round, solidify the line. And I disagree with you, Andrew. I think that we solidify both lines. Yes, we've gone D-line heavy, but look how much we suffered last year by not having a pass rush. You can never, and that proves you can never have enough pass rushers ever.
Sure. Next
man up, right? And who was our leading pass rusher last year?
It was Kerry Hyder.
Kerry fucking Hyder that we picked up on a 1-year deal. Okay.
It
was not a draft. Okay. So you pick up Arden Key. You have Joey Bosa back. You have D Ford Nick Bosa. You have D Ford, who's an absolute maybe. We don't have God, I just said his name. It's
Kerry Hyder.
We don't have Kerry Hyder back. So that's just 3, right? We're with 1 super questionable. So we just have 2.
Armstead had a bad year.
One of them goes down, like we're right back in the last year, And Eric Armstead he's a question mark too, right? I mean, if we have him and Bosa for the full year, awesome. But I don't think that you can make a bad pass rusher pick in this draft. Like just stack them up, do whatever you have to do, because if you can get after the quarterback, you can fill out a lot of holes you have in your secondary. And then after that, I think secondary is not a bad pick only because we don't have any secondaries locked up long term. Okay, you look at all of our cornerbacks and they're all locked into 1-year deals. Mm-hmm. So it's all leveraged on this year. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if they play great, yeah, it's going to be expensive. But if you can draft one, it saves us a lot of money and gives us depth, right? So I think offensive line, defensive line, pass rush, with Linebackers, I mean, we play a 4-3. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we have Dre Greenlaw. We're not getting rid of him. We have Fred Warner. And then the third one.
What's his name? He's been good. He's a special teams guy. You like him, the linebacker.
What is
his name? Third linebacker for us.
Yeah.
Andrew?
Let's see.
We all know his name once we hear it. He's been around on the Nines for a while.
Yeah, good old Google.
Yeah. Who gets it first?
I know.
Well, the depth chart says it's Al
Shazier.
Al Shire.
Yeah.
Al Shazier.
He's Aziz Al
So
Shire.
if anything, we have to adjust that position, right?
Yeah, 'cause
so
we lost
it's
Quan.
not as big of a deal. Cornerbacks go down all the time. Safeties, even if
Our guys have been hurt a lot last year.
yeah, but safeties, even if Tart goes down, I mean, we have.
You think Tart's going to start over Moore?
We wouldn't bring him back if he wasn't going to start.
You think?
Yeah, I think we got Tart and we have Tavarius Moore, and then Jimmy Ward is going to fit as a hybrid. We'll throw him in
Jimmy
there for
Ward's
packages.
a for sure starter. We're paying him so much money.
It just really depends. If he's an all-day starter, that's great, but he had a lot of bad games last year. He really did.
You're talking Tart.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Jimmy Ward. Tart, he got hurt.
I think that Tart's more on the line than Jimmy Ward to lose his job.
I'm a big Jimmy Ward fan.
I'm a Jimmy Ward fan too, but he does get a little emotional and he plays out of his position a lot more than Tart. I think Tart's a little bit more reliable.
More.
In my opinion, I think that Jimmy Ward has bigger play potential, harder hits, but consistently Tart's been there and hasn't really gotten exposed. In my opinion, he doesn't make the plays, but he hasn't been exposed, right? And when we're talking about great pass rush, and we have that, then we can have a Tart out there all the time. So I think that we have those three rotations in there, and I think Tavarius Moore has definitely earned it, and I hope they see it because last year it was Tart and Ward. But either one, I wouldn't be disappointed if Tart and Jimmy started. But what's nice is that we do have that third rotational safety if we need them, right? Mm-hmm. So not a glaring need, in my opinion, especially if we have the fucking type of pass rush we had 2 years ago. I mean, doesn't fucking matter who you throw back there, Yeah. So if we can get back to that elite level pass rush, solidify the offensive line with a couple more competition, big name players, second, third round picks, I think we'll be sitting pretty, I do have an additional question for you guys. I don't know if it was on the agenda, but who do you think is going to make a bigger impact this year? Do you think it's going to be Arden Key, or do you think it's going to be the running back from the Giants?
Gallman.
Wayne Gallman. With knowing our running back committee right now, too.
I mean, off the bat, I just think Wayne Gallman, just because our running backs are. How many different starters do we have? These guys.
Durability issues.
Kyle Shanahan lose confidence real quick with fumbles. Gallman came in for Barkley because I had him on our fantasy league, and he had a decent year.
Well, we have the same durability.
Because of me, I was like, hey, pick him up. I was like, yo, pick him up.
Yeah, that was
Wayne.
And, I mean, I love the pickup. I don't know the key. Arden Key.
I don't know for LSU. Big draft pick.
Don't know him that well. Don't know him that well. I know Gallman way better, so I say him. And just because our rotation with the running backs, I mean, I think it's most certain Jeff Wilson Jr.'s game for sure. Gallman's the third guy.
Like a Gallman and
Gallman here and there, but it's the other two guys, Wilson and Mostert all day. I mean, Mostert's going to start. I mean, either way, I'm not worried about our run game. I think we can all agree on that. Our run game is going to be fine. Our pass game, I mean, we were not that deep. We got our two guys, Debo and Ayuk. Debo hasn't stayed healthy. So, I mean, who else is out there? I think we should pick up a receiver at some point during the draft. Sanu. He was on our squad last year.
Didn't make the cut.
I think we should definitely go receiver in the draft. I agree with you guys 100%. We got to go line. Definitely have to hit that. And then I think that our either corner or safety. I think everything else, I'm kind of with Andrew on our D line. I think we got a great group in there. That let's get another receiver.
Last year was sus,
receiver in there.
Last year was sus. We were ranked
Last year
25th
was
in pass
COVID,
rush.
though. You know,
And Nick Bosa's gone. If Nick Bosa's in there, I mean, put anybody on that line, we're going to be looking good.
So you think with the addition of Nick Bosa, it'll answer majority of our
I think there's
issues?
more of a risk of Debo getting hurt again than Nick Bosa getting hurt again. And I think we should look at receiver at some point. I mean, maybe it's 4th, 5th round. I don't really know, but I know whoever we get is going to have a chance to definitely play. Richie James had some games where he stepped up. He's probably going to be our 3rd receiver, right?
And Trent Taylor was picked in like the 4th round or something, and he had potential up until his back issues.
I think we need to get somebody there. I think our tight ends are set, Dwelly and Kittle. I mean, geez, we're set with those guys. Let's get a lineman in there who might not start. Obviously, our quarterback's going to be addressed. So let's get another receiver in there, another DB, another corner. Our linebackers are fine.
What about you, Andrew? Who's going to make a bigger impact, Arden Key or Wayne Gallman?
See, I don't know as much about Arden Key either, but I'm just kind of looking at Wayne Gallman. He catches the ball quite a bit. That's what I like.
He's kind of shifty. He's a little guy.
He's going to be like a replacement of Matt Breida.
I could like a Matt
Breida.
See him fitting right in as the 3rd running back.
And he went to Clemson. Like I like Wayne Gallman. He's only 26. Maybe this is like the year he breaks out. Like he's only 26.
He played for the Giants, like a terrible offensive line.
Team. Yeah.
But he's had NFL experience. We all know the name. I mean, I like Wayne. I think it's a great pickup. I'm kind of surprised.
And we know durability has been an issue with the Niners running back position. So why not add more depth?
Right. Yep.
I think both of them good moves, but I agree with both of you. I think Wayne Gallman might surprise a lot of people, especially when not if, but probably when Wilson or Mostert gets hurt, right? Like, can we depend on him a little bit more than who was the guy with the dreads that we
Hasty?
Yeah, than a JaMychal Hasty, right?
I would think so.
I like JaMychal Hasty, but he proved to get hurt too. Wayne Gallman played the whole year, so adding another durable player to our running back committee, where we know how much we rely on the running backs in our scheme, I think is the best fit possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arden Key, I think it's a good signing, but I mean,
but there's still a lot more question marks.
There's a lot of question marks.
It's not a name that people would even recognize.
He had time to prove himself. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
He didn't prove himself. He drafted 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think we can all agree we're lucky that we don't have these glaring holes that we need to fill.
Yeah, and that's why quarterback's such a big issue, because we're like, fuck, we're so close,
So close. And we're about to pay so many guys. That's also why I think we're going for those rookies, because it's going to be so much cheaper.
We have like 3 guys that are best at their position.
4 or 5 years, where Jimmy's he's actually not terribly priced anymore. But you get a rookie on a rookie deal, we can pay Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
We're going to have to pay Fred Warner.
What Steve Young was saying is like making this move, it really extends our Super Bowl window, because if this guy does pan out, it gives us so much more money to spend on those guys rather than just spending it on role players,
Or spending on the quarterback.
Or free agents or the quarterback, right? Like
we're about to have so we already got George Kittle, number 1 tight end paid in the league. Trent Williams, number 1 paid offensive lineman in the league.
Fred Warner will be there.
Fred Warner's getting paid this summer. We have the money to do it. He will be the number 1 middle linebacker.
Will be there. So it's like,
so what? We're going to have 5 or 6 of the highest paid players in the NFL at their position. We have to have that rookie deal in there.
Yeah,
that's what they're thinking. We have to. There's no other way to afford it.
I think we're all hoping that the rookie will pan out. But if it's Jimmy, it's fucking Jimmy. And at the end of his term, 2 years, we have that next guy.
Well, just hearing you say that, Keegan, I think Jimmy might get cut then. There's a possibility he might get cut.
Definitely. I mean, it's still
not this year, because
I don't know. I mean, there's
this year. I agree with Ryan, because our team, like we said, it's pretty much set, right? The big free agents are gone. We have still $20 million in cap room. We'll obviously pay all the draft guys. We're going to extend Fred Warner. But Jimmy has that no trade clause this year.
Yeah.
So that controls some
we
things.
Can get a trade. We can get some value next year.
That ends next year. And then we got our rookie making, he makes like 9, 10. I'm not sure what the scale is for his second year, but it's not huge.
Especially in 2021, like what rookie deals.
And Jimmy's goes up again. I mean, he gets even paid more.
Yeah.
So he's backloaded. So I think for sure, Jimmy's gone next year because, we got to start paying these guys. We got to start paying Nick Bosa. Paying these. I mean, we unfortunately with the salary cap, and I love the salary cap, it keeps the league even. You see these baseball teams, they can spend whatever, and it's always the Dodgers every year because we know why, because they can go spend the money on the best players. The NFL is so great because everybody has that cap.
Yeah.
You can't go over it. It's just not allowed. NBA, you have to pay a luxury tax.
Right.
So you're pretty much allowed to go over the cap. You just got to pay
as long as you have
more.
Your team.
The NFL is you're not allowed to be in the red. You're just not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
No matter what, you have to be under the cap. So it just makes it interesting. That's why
that's why it's so crazy to see a Tom Brady and see those truly great players that will take that pay cut. And I think it does take us winning a Super Bowl for that circumstance to happen,
Right.
But until we win the Super Bowl, people aren't going to take a pay cut to maybe make the Super Bowl.
George Kittle didn't take a pay cut. Trent Williams didn't take a pay cut. Nick Bosa ain't taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
Even if we win a Super Bowl, these guys aren't taking pay cuts.
But if we're winning Super Bowls, it's a lot more inclined for veteran players.
Yeah, those veteran good starters.
Look how many players came to the Buccaneers on one-year deals.
Right.
We'll start seeing that opportunity a lot more.
Our stars will be paid, but we'll still get some really good veterans out coming cheaper.
That they're like, look, I have 2-3 great years in me. I'll take a pay cut. Let me play for the Niners and try to make a run at this thing,
Exactly.
But that doesn't happen if we don't fucking at least make the playoffs. Like, what the fuck,
Yeah. And I think we all agree we have the opportunity to win a Super Bowl no matter who our quarterback is because of players around us, right? And because of who our coach is. And luckily, we did kind of suck last year, so our schedule is a little bit more doable this year. We play all the worst teams now
in each division. Top 5 pick, you're never going to be in that. That's why they made the trade up. It's like, if you plan on being successful in the future, you're not planning on being in that situation to pick a top 5 quarterback ever again, or at least for a long fucking time. So it's like, this is our time to make that move, right? You can't bank on next year losing. No one's banking on that with our roster, right? So
it's just not happening. No matter.
Go back to that John Lynch point. It's like, well, when do you make that risk, right? Like this is the obvious pick to go up there and make it happen. You're not going to do it if you're picking 22nd or if you got exit in the second round of second round of the playoffs. Yeah. So I think it all happened for a reason, and I'm so fucking excited.
Just like how we got Nick Bosa, Jimmy G torn ACL, we would never see Nick Bosa if Jimmy stayed healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
This all happens. Some magic.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah, it really is. Thanks, Jimmy. I'm sorry, Nick Bosa is better than you. He's the best player on our team. When Nick Bosa got hurt, I told Ryan, I'm like, we just lost our best player.
Yeah,
it wasn't Jimmy G. It was Nick Bosa.
Our buddy Cliff that we watched the games with, he's like, the season's over.
Yeah, he was right.
Yeah,
it was a really bad year.
He was right. I didn't even want to admit it. I was like, well, maybe, but no.
But it would be nice to have our quarterback be the best player in our team. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Or at least on the field, healthy.
Just look at the Browns for like 6 years, dude. Johnny Manziel, Brandon Whedon, who else? Brady Quinn. Like it's just like miss. Like those are all top first round picks.
Yeah.
Just complete misses. Oh,
that's why I don't think you will get rid of Jimmy, because our number 3 overall pick could very well be a bust. I don't want to believe it, but it
could.
We know what we have in Jimmy.
You just don't know.
We know what we have in Jimmy.
You just don't know.
And why risk cutting him or letting him go when we don't even know what this rookie's all
exactly.
Until you get to training camp.
But even training camp, you just don't know until you see them in the game.
You don't know, but I heard all the things like you can figure it out pretty quick, and players know it like right away. Oh, this big first rounder, you can see him in practice like, this guy.
Yeah, but how do they deal with adversity? You can't touch the quarterback at practice.
But you can tell pretty quick.
How do you deal with it when you get smacked in the fucking face?
Not quarterback or not, you can tell pretty quick.
I've seen Jimmy take some fucking licks. I've seen him battle for first downs. I've seen these things with Jimmy. So am I just reluctant to just say, oh yeah, it's fine if we let go of Jimmy? No, because I don't want to just be hanging around with the 3rd overall pick that may or may not pan out.
And I think you're going to find that out pretty quick. Players say all the time that they find out really quick, and that's training camp.
Then what do you do? What if we do? All right, Keegan, we cut Jimmy G.
No, we don't cut him until training camp. We got to see how the guy does.
Yeah, sure. Okay. We see training camp. He's out beat, right? Then we just cut Jimmy G. And then we get the guy, and the guy gets in the first game, and he gets popped in the face, and he gets shaky behind the pocket, and it's not what we think. What do we do then?
I told you that I don't think Jimmy's getting cut this year because the money's okay.
Okay, but what do we do then?
He's not the only reason.
We're fucked.
The only reason Jimmy
chosen Rosen, please be chosen again.
The only reason Jimmy G is gone is 1, we get offered a 1st-round pick, or 2, the other guy that we pick is clearly ahead of Jimmy. Other than that, Jimmy's on the roster and he's starting day 1.
Yeah.
Other than that, 1st-round pick or the 3rd-round pick is something special. So I'm there for you, especially with the money. We're fine this year. But Jimmy is not on our roster past next year. That's definitely true, unless we win a Super Bowl, of course.
Mm-hmm. Then we give him another year.
But other than that, he's not on our roster.
Yeah.
And if we start the rookie from game 1, we're probably going to have to cut Jimmy because no one's going to give him anything.
Or we keep him on there for depth.
But I'm saying cut him after the season.
Okay.
Yeah, after the season.
I'm saying next year we need fucking 2 solid quarterbacks. We need it. And anyone that watched as a Niners fan last year will agree that we do not want to be in the situation that we were in last year ever again.
I don't disagree. And I don't want to see Rosen out there. That would be a nightmare.
Yeah. Or Josh Johnson. Like, okay.
Is he still on the roster?
Yeah. Right now.
Oh, man. I'm excited for next Thursday, though. I mean, it's going to clear up a lot for us, and we get excited about somebody, and then we got another long 4 months. Just wait for the games.
Is that how long? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's September 8th, 9th, and then the draft's end of April.
I will say, though, like, after watching the press conference, it's like finally they did admit that there's issues with Jimmy G and they're willing to move on, right? Before it was always the mumble amongst fans, right? Like, you know, Jimmy's not the guy, but we never ever heard Kyle Shanahan say it out of his mouth or John Lynch. And like, that's what I took away from the press conference is like, okay, they absolutely agree that this is a glaring issue of durability and that we're in a position to win now. We can't leverage our future and bet on our future with this guy right now. So we need to make our move, and best believe we will be evaluating these guys and we'll be picking Trey Lance.
I think that's our pick. I already said I think it's Trey Lance is our pick. So I'm not going to be surprised and I'll be happy, but I want Justin Fields.
But it was a breath of fresh air because we were all thinking of it, right? Like, I love Jimmy G, but after a while, it's like the guy's not fucking getting it done. What's our plan, right? It would be more.
We're talking Matt Stafford. We're talking so many even before the draft that Jimmy wasn't.
It'd be more of an issue if we didn't trade for a big name quarterback and we were sitting at 12 with John Lynch. It'd be like, okay, well, what are you doing as a GM? Right. The fact that he's willing to put it on the table and say, hey, I know there's a fucking issue at quarterback.
Putting his job on the line.
But we're gonna at least have a fucking solid guy behind this guy. So if Jimmy goes down, it ain't going to be a Nick Mullins. It's not going to be a CJ Beathard. It's going to be a Justin Fields making plays. It's going to be a Trey Lance with raw power, limited playbook, but working to his strengths, or God forbid, a Mac Jones that hopefully can make limited mistakes.
It's Mac Jones. It's Mac Jones.
But I think all 3 of them give us a better chance than our backups right now.
I agree.
100%. And I think that, if they take the backup role, good. I mean, I'm with you guys on the grooming situation. I just think the NFL and our roster is so win now.
But there's a little less patience than there would be if we were a mid-level or smaller team.
Right. No, and if Jimmy's on the field week 1, I'm behind him, and I'll just, in back of my head, think that I'm like, all right, Jimmy's better than the guy we drafted right now.
Yeah. We lose game 1 by like 2 touchdowns, and Jimmy goes like, one touchdown and 4 picks. Me, Andrew, and yourself are all going to be like
worried.
Put Fields in.
But I'll also be worried because like you really picked this guy over the guy that we want now in because he had a bad game. I'm
saying Jimmy goes out there week 1.
That's what I'm saying. Because in my eyes, whoever starts week 1 is the better quarterback. Is the
Right,
better
or
quarterback.
maybe
Well,
And all of a sudden
maybe
he's
they're like,
not
this
great.
person's
I'm
not
like,
getting. Maybe this guy's not ready yet. He's
Not
got
getting the playbook. It can take
Yeah,
some time, dude.
There's a lot of
he's
different factors. It's
something.
not just can this guy.
And then we want the backup, and it's just like, oh shit, he doesn't know the playbook. So it just makes for a long season.
But it will be an absolute short list if Jimmy G starts week 1. I think all three of us can agree on that. That it will be the shortest leash in his career.
He's got a big offseason ahead of him. I mean, I'm hoping he's working on his game.
Chip on his shoulder, and he's got
a
a lot of pressure on him. The biggest pressure.
I don't think I think he's getting his dick sucked. I think he's Playboy Jimmy. I think he's loving life, dude. I think that's what he's doing right now.
I don't. Yeah, he's got to be stressed because he can literally start making a lot less money really fast,
real quick.
Really,
so I think that might have been the case.
His contract is not guaranteed.
But like, God damn it, like this is like, okay, do I have a future?
Am I about to be making? I'm making 25 million. About to be making 8 next year as a backup somewhere.
Right.
Like I don't know about the dick sucking. He better be.
That's why
shit
I love
together
this.
because there's a lot of money in the line.
Like
a lot of money.
Bullshit aside, Jimmy, let's see what you're fucking made of. You know?
Right.
And that's what this year will prove. We're not gonna not see how this pans out. Like we're just not. Like, this could elevate Jimmy to a whole nother.
And I don't expect Jimmy to be
because he had no competition.
I don't expect
no competition.
I don't expect Jimmy to be there, that teacher helping, guiding that pick. He's gonna be like, fuck no, I'm in a competition with this guy. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like I'll be here to, support you, but I'm not teaching you shit.
And I absolutely love it. I love this situation.
He wants the ball.
We're gonna see the best Jimmy G, or we're gonna see a young stud really step in. And I think either way, us as Niners fans are gonna make out.
Yeah, because we still have that roster behind whoever we pick.
Yeah, 100%.
That roster.
And running game.
Yeah.
Give us some good offensive line. At the end of the day, let's fucking pound the football.
But could you imagine a running Trey Lance out there? Plays set up.
Triple option with fucking with
Wayne
Debo
Gallman.
with Debo and Ayuk coming cross on streaks,
Trey Lance is out there getting 15-20. You're going to be like, fuck yeah, I don't even think about Jimmy Garoppolo right now.
They can run the ball with Debo. They can run the ball with QB. They can throw the
ball deep now.
Ayuk. Like, what do we do?
And their defense is stout.
So you have Ayuk on a streak, and then you have Debo on a jet.
Kittle coming in the middle.
And then you have Kittle in the middle. And you can do the whole option, and the quarterback can still run. Like, good luck, fucking defenses. How do you even practice against that?
Right.
How do you even scheme against that?
It's just going to open up so much for Kyle in his play calling. It's been said that he's been limited with Jimmy in his play calling. He has so much more that he can call, but he can't with Jimmy. That's why I'd love to see this 3rd round pick come in there, take it from Jimmy, take the reins, do all the plays.
Take the reins. It's
true. And do all this stuff, run the ball, win us games, not get hurt, not throw stupid picks.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see it, and I hope for it. And if it isn't that case, I'm behind Jimmy.
Yeah, if he can prove us wrong, right?
But I'm really excited for the next dimension that we're about to get.
More competition.
Unless it's Mac Jones, then we're not running. There's no running quarterback. It's Jimmy, maybe on steroids. So I won't be as excited. I'll tell you that. But if we get Fields or Lance, both those guys can do different things than Jimmy. Both those guys.
Yeah. Well, every time I hear you say Mac Jones, I think like macaroni and cheese, dude. I don't. For some reason, like it just he doesn't click as like a great football player to me.
He's just kind of a goof, and they showed him like running around and like his pro day, and he just like runs awkwardly. He has a goofy laugh. I just don't see him in the huddle, but like looking into Debo's eyes.
Peyton Manning ran pretty good.
Getting him ready, Peyton Manning. But all right, well, hey, if he's the next Peyton Manning, I'll be stoked. If we get,
I don't think so.
Let's roll. Either way, I mean, next Thursday is going to be huge. We'll definitely have to get back together not too far after that.
Yeah, 5th round party for sure. The 5th round, baby.
5th round party.
Well, I think this is a good place to wrap it up. A lot of good points, a lot of hot takes. Keegan's on fire tonight.
Hopefully, got a lot of passion for the Niners. That's all.
Yeah, next week you're gonna bring it even harder once we get Trey Lance.
I'll get a Trey Lance jersey.
You guys had a bet about Trey Lance, right?
No, we had a bet about Jimmy.
No, about Trey Lance.
Trey Lance too.
No, I think
I said if Trey Lance gets drafted by the Niners, you're buying his jersey.
Was that it?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'll buy the jersey. Yeah, I'll buy it.
We're not picking Trey Lance.
But what was our Jimmy bet?
he gets cut
He
Gets cut.
during the offseason.
And I said the only reason he
During
gets
the
cut is if
offseason.
we get a big time quarterback or a first round pick.
Yeah, we'll have to rewind the tape.
I don't think he's getting cut, but he could definitely get traded.
But no matter what, I think the odds are in my favor of Keegan paying out.
Trey Lance jerseys for everybody. All right.
Trey Lance jerseys for everybody on the podcast?
If we pick Trey Lance, I'll get Trey Lance jerseys for everybody. But you have to actually wear it.
For us three? Is that
Yeah.
everybody?
You can pick your color and style you want.
I'll fucking wear it. What do you mean wear it? Of course I'll wear it.
Because I was a big hater of Trey Lance. I'll admit to it. For sure. I didn't think that we'd go for it.
So
but
he's
now,
Tim Tebow 2.0.
yeah, I didn't like it. I thought he threw slow. But then I watched him. I'm like, God damn, what's not to like about this kid?
And that's respectable, right? Like,
It's not like I said.
Sometimes we think something's one way, but it does take a big person to admit that, like, or to change their thoughts, right? Like, he's not just staying hard-headed and was like, no, I said it one time, I have to stick with it. He actually looked at the tape, looked at analysts, and was like, okay, maybe I didn't do enough research about this guy. And I think that's what all three of us have in common is like, when you're watching us, right? Like, our opinions can be changed as long as the proof is there.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to get from this podcast is like, you're going to get the truth, right? We're not going to be so hard pressed in our own beliefs. We're going to be, it could change week to week. Like, you prove us wrong, and we're going to be about that guy, right?
Exactly. We just want the best for the Niners.
That's
all
it.
it comes
That's
down
all
to.
it comes down to. 100%.
That's it. So if Trey Lance gets drafted, we're all getting
They're all getting jerseys.
Lance jerseys.
Yeah.
And we'll wear them on the pod.
Not those like not the Chinese website.
No.
We're getting it from at
They're
least
not-
Fanatics.
Team shop.
I'm getting the
Oh,
white.
team shop.
All right, what
team
All
shop?
right, what color would you guys go with?
I'm getting
Okay,
the white.
red.
I'm
You
a
go-
white.
you go white,
I've never had.
or-
I've had red too much. I'm getting the white.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would kind of want to go the all white. So I've been wearing that block lettering. I
Yeah.
really want a jersey like that. So
Okay.
I'd probably go with that.
I'll go with normal home red.
the good old red, and you'll go white. Just the classic white.
I'll go,
Or you
I'll
want
go
the 94?
white. But next week, I think it is, the Niners are unveiling a new throwback.
No, it is. It's going to be the 94 Reds.
Yeah, the reds with the.
It's the 94 with the drop shadow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be just like the whites, but it's going to be red. So you're going to have the block numbers with the black, but it's going to be red.
Okay.
Which I'm excited about.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah,
I
I'll
probably
definitely go
won't
with the
get
white.
one,
I'll go with the white number 5 with the block red.
You'll get a
5.
94 red Debo, number 1.
Number one.
It's gonna look
Debo
so
is
whack.
definitely buying. He's a first round pick. He has enough money. He'll buy out his stock. Debo's all about
Think
that
so?
social media.
Dude, that's a
life
couple
there.
million, man. You think your
Yeah,
guy
I
wants
think-
to
I think
spend a
Debo's
couple
about
These
it.
guys ain't the smartest either sometimes.
Debo's about it.
million? That's how you go broke, just spending a couple million because you want a new number.
Especially
That's
dealing with
stupid.
injury issues like Debo.
Yeah. Oh, just ball spend a couple 5 mil. Yeah. Okay.
I
Whatever.
don't think it's that high, honestly. I think it's probably around $1 million, but it
Especially
might be less.
for a Debo that's not like they're not stocked up.
Yeah. They just have to buy whatever the NFL team shop has. They don't care about the third party people.
Right.
No, it's
not
Nike.
it's not that big of a number, dude.
It's Nike. It's Nike distributes to Fanatics to everybody. So it's you're paying Nike.
I just don't
directly.
think Debo is
I don't think it's that.
I don't
huge
think
of a
he's got
number.
enough jerseys on the shelf to really like break his bank. Yeah.
I don't think so. And
He
Debo don't
played
care.
half the season last year.
His chains cost more than those jerseys.
He
That
played,
would be-
and he played half the season last year. It'd be different if he balled out like Ayuk. I feel like Ayuk's trending way higher than Debo.
I'm
right now.
telling you that the change in number does increase.
Like,
the
if
jersey
Ayuk
sales.
yeah, and if-
there will be
It
some
will.
offset.
Yeah,
There will
the
be
number
some
one.
offset for sure.
That's
It's not like
right.
he's going to go negative on the year, especially if he plays and he balls in the number one.
Yeah, he'd be betting on himself.
He's
But
betting on himself.
if he buys out his jerseys and he gets hurt again this year,
That would be tough.
fucking idiot.
Do you remember when LeBron tried to change his number to
6?
6 and Nike's like no.
No.
And he's like, let me
They
buy the
need
stock.
one-
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
Nike
it's so much.
literally Nike said no, but those jersey sales are on a whole different level.
Right.
NBA jerseys, that's worldwide.
As a
China,
whole,
like
it's
just
the number
so
one.
big.
It's the number one bought jersey out of baseball, football, hockey.
Well, he's the number one athlete.
I think soccer is number 2 or maybe number 1 for
We're-
most sold jerseys as a sport.
they're just like, sorry, dude.
It's soccer and basketball.
We're selling fucking jerseys in Ethiopia for you, dude. Like we're not changing your number.
We're out here hustling. You don't see this?
Dude. The Debo jersey isn't flying off the UK shelves, all right?
Number 19s.
Yeah. He's changing his number. I for sure see a few other changes, but mostly with the bigger name guys, the first rounders, obviously guys that are making a mint. Like the other guys, they're not spending that money. Yeah. I'm keeping it.
Yeah. Well, this is
Yeah, like Kittle would never change his.
No.
Too much
Kittle-
stock in that 8.5.
Oh yeah, because tight ends. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't see him doing that. Yeah.
No.
That'd be weird. Seeing
That'd be
like
a bad move.
number 3 Kittle. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
And he was like number 46 or something in college. Really weird. I would hate to see that. I would hate to see him change anything.
85 's classic.
I love Kittle 85.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a tight end number 2 in the 80s. Tight ends.
Well, that was what Vernon Davis was, right? 85.
Yeah, 85.
Yeah.
Just
The
the
last-
80, yeah.
Last tight end with the 40s was, I think, Dallas Clark.
Dallas Clark.
44.
Love
You're like, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Not a big fan
And
of
then
the
a ton of
40s.
fullbacks.
Yeah, I think most players will probably keep their number, but
Fred
for
Warner,
there's some
48.
changes. Yep, change to 54.
Remember
He's
Fred
gonna-
Warner, 48?
Fred Warner isn't changing. his
You think he's
number.
going to change to 48?
No,
No,
he
he
was
was, yeah,
48.
he was.
Right. But he can change now.
Now,
He's not.
54 is solidified, and he's
Right.
already like,
The Niners have that legend too with those mid 50s.
yeah, no, it'll be like, yeah. I mean, you got
50
Patrick
numbers.
Willis, you got Navarro Bowman, now you
Yeah.
have Fred Warner.
And what's Dre Greenlaw wearing? 50 what?
50.
Quan was 56.
57.
Fred Warner in the 40s? No.
No, Fred
It's
Warner's
54.
57. 57.
57.
So he's right there too.
Yeah, he's not changing.
Yeah.
I can see
DBs
some-
will though. You know these hothead receivers and DBs, they don't care. Like, yeah, I want this number, just because that's how they are, dude. And
But
it's-
God damn it, man. 2021 is our year. Our year, baby. Born in 46. Now we're in 2021. It's our
COVID
fucking
is
year.
ending. Let's fucking have a year, baby.
They said fans
Let's
are
have
going to
a
be
year.
let in.
Yep.
We're going to be in the Tennessee Titans game.
Trying
Like,
to go that one.
we're
Yeah.
fucking amped, baby. Niners for life.
Hell yeah. You going to the Titans game?
If you want to roll with, dude.
Yeah.
What
It's a
day?
tradition. It's a tradition now.
What day?
Pick one away game
We go to one. We go to
away
one.
from Denver.
We go to one game a year.
Yeah, I'm down. My brother lives in San Francisco, so I'm down.
I would love to hit a home Niner game and Tennessee on the road.
I think
too.
we could probably make both
Two,
work.
yeah.
Now that he's not a.
make it a little bit more quiche.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about it. So we got a promotion. A promotion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keegan is now
Congrats,
a manager now.
So now when I take time off, I still get paid. It's nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. He got promoted about 3 weeks ago, and yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah. But either way, yeah, thinking Tennessee Titans for sure for the away game. Nashville is so much fun. I've been there once. It's awesome.
And I've never
city.
been.
And they're a little bit more laxed on the whole thing. And I mean, I'm fully vaxxed now. And by that time, hopefully it's maybe mid-season where we don't even have to think about it.
Yeah,
No mask wearing. We're just going to the game, having
it'll
a
be a
normal
great
time.
time.
Yeah, I'm getting my second vax in a couple weeks. So,
Fun.
huh?
Who you got? Pfizer, Moderna?
It's
You got that,
Moderna.
that Johnson and Johnson, baby.
No, Moderna.
Yeah, I had the Moderna too.
I had just slight chills,
Pfizer
slight
had
fever.
some.
So I took the second shot last weekend, and on Sunday I was kind of feeling like, oh yeah, I remember this. It was because I had COVID before. I had
was
the
just
little
like
body aches going. I was
Yeah.
sleeping in the middle of the day,
I
but
think
it
Moderna-
cleared up right away.
And I think
have to
Moderna's
say.
the less sketch of the three because Pfizer's
Pfizer and Moderna
has
both
paid
fine.
out. Well, I'm just saying Pfizer's paid out a bunch of money in lawsuits for pharmaceuticals in the past for false advertisement. And you just don't want to take that risk. if you are going to take a risk with the vaccine,
take
I would
it.
say Moderna is going to be the one.
But
In my opinion, I wouldn't take them, but
take it.
Moderna.
So we can go to the NFL game.
Right.
Please.
I'm just saying.
As many people take it as possible.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Well, you guys both.
Yeah, I'm
had
not against no one non-taking it, but if you're willing to, just please take it so we can try and get back to normal.
Well, you guys both had it. This is good that we're talking about this to end the podcast for people that might be curious. So, kind of compare like actually having COVID, Keegan, since you've had both shots, to just the shot side effects. Like
Shot side effects are nothing.
Exactly. So
nothing compared to COVID. So please, that's why also I'm like, I did not have fun on COVID. I'm like, give me the vax. I don't want to get COVID again.
Right.
Shit was not fun. I had body aches. I did not have a good time. Yeah, the second shot, I was a little sleepy the next day. I had a little bit, but it was nothing compared. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
And I don't know the shots, but I mean, COVID wasn't really that big of a deal. I think.
What do you mean it wasn't a big deal?
I'm saying for me.
For
you, yeah,
me
for you.
personally.
That makes sense.
I'm not saying as
The world went to a stop.
Yeah, of course. And then I think that was just because, honestly, like the lack of knowledge that we had about it, and because it was killing people at higher rates of older age and stuff.
Everybody's different.
So we're just figuring out. It's a controversial subject. It really is. But at the end of the day, I mean, whether you believe in being vaxxed or not, like you just want to have life go on as normal again. You know what I mean? So, so yeah, I'm personally not getting vaccinated, but I'm really looking forward to, life going back on. And, I have grandparents that got vaxxed, and I'm for that. I'm for whatever makes them safer. But it's all about individual responsibility, right? Like if you have higher risk and you're more susceptible to COVID, like take higher precautions, get vaxxed, right? Do what's best for you. And if you're not vaxxed like me, then be respectful towards others, wear the mask, like even if you don't believe in it, like you don't want to spread it, So I think we're all looking forward to having more normalcy next year. And I think that goes along with the 49ers.
Right.
I'm saying next season. Yeah.
In the end, we just want shit to go back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're about to play some softball.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
The Drifters, baby. Show the jersey. Hold it up.
This is big.
You can catch us Thursday nights in Parker, Colorado.
That's right.
The Drifters, baby.
Giving out free tickets to the games.
Come on out. Support.
Drifters are going to be hitting dingers.
Ooh, the two, baby. Jeter. I'm probably going to get that respect hat with the two in the middle. I think that's the hat I'm going to go with, because I'll have the two in the middle and then got my two in the middle.
Are you going to get the teal?
Do they have a teal respect hat?
I don't know. Or like a yellow?
But you know what hat I'm talking about, right? The Jared Jeter respect and the twos in the middle of the respect.
Yeah, that's his brand, I think, right?
Yeah.
That'd be dope, man.
I'm getting that.
And Ryan's I think I'm gonna go buy a Florida Marlins throwback, the teal.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Something yellow socks.
I think I might go Memphis Grizzlies snapback.
Ooh.
There you go. Yeah, the 90s had a bunch of teal. You could do the Sharks teal.
Yeah, I might go Sharks too. Regardless, we're gonna be looking fresh. I got the yellow face shield, and I got the teal face shield, and I got the yellow armband. So I think teal and yellow is a good combo.
Yeah, the Bryce Harper cleats.
Yeah, red. But I've always been red cleats, even if it doesn't match. That's just my signature.
Yeah, we're we are 2 weeks out from game 1.
Can't wait, man. And just looking forward to kind of just hanging out with the boys again. It's been a while.
Yeah, should be fun. Well, this was a great podcast. We went a little over time, but I'm sure the diehards are going to listen.
Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe. We are sponsored by water. Drink it and stay safe.
H2O, people. H2O.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get some sponsorship going soon, but yeah, for the meantime.
And also, it'll be really quick, but vitamin D, not a lot of people are talking about vitamin D deficiency, but it's found in it's found in 80% of COVID victims. And it's like, look, do what you can, right? Like, obviously you're not God, you can't predict the future, but you can take precautions. So take vitamin D. It's an easy supplement. Not enough people out there now because of their job get enough of sunlight.
Yes.
And it's super important. Super
I'm
important.
glad you brought that up. Yeah, I've been taking vitamin D for a while. I take it every day, and I take my zinc, my vitamin C. It just comes with the territory. Like, we're not near the equator, so of course we don't get all that sun. And a lot of people don't know about vitamin D, and they should. And the CDC and the government, they don't talk about it. They just say, take this shot, take this drug. But like in India, they were actually giving out vitamin D and zinc
and supplements.
And here it's just like, oh, social distance, do this. Yeah, that's all good, but you got to take vitamin D. You got to boost your immune system, work out. You can't just go to fast food restaurants and get big and be unhealthy and then get the shot and be like, I'm all fixed now. Right. That's not how this works. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Still die from a lot of other stuff. So it's
be healthy.
But shout out to the Nines. Shout out to our Born in 46 podcast. I think it was a good one.
Yeah, we'll do the next, hopefully the next couple in person.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We do a little round table at your house.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. We'll get the setup with the camera and the HD.
That'd be the first one we all did together. That'd be awesome.
I know, it's crazy. I think once I get that second shot, I'll be in the clear. That'll be like my way of like, all right, this shit's done.
Yep.
Ready to move on. So
cool.
Good shit, boys.
Right.
Thanks for joining. Everybody like and subscribe. A lot more content coming your way. And stay safe out there.
Niners.